But Seers Isle is... I assume everybody's magic, and they're all out on this island, and things happen, and you can make your choices, and whatever choice you make affects the ending you get. So it's like it is all about your own adventure. You cannot lose. Any option is the right option. But which Seers Isle is this? It's too bad. I'm reading this out loud. You can't see it, but it was spelled as Seer, like the store, and Isle with an A. Thus, an aisle in Seers. That means that's a comedy gold joke. Thank you, perfect. I swap my screen over to Seers Isle where we can begin. Alright, chat. Let's roll. I start the game. You could also see up there at the top right how it made the comment about how Twitch is connected. So, Seers Isle is an interactive graphic novel. During your adventure, you will be asked to make choices that will define how your story progresses. When one of your decisions influences the relationship between the protagonist and the other characters, one or two of the symbols light up on the top of the screen. Here, see them? Right up at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got eye, we've got hand, we've got a shrugging, confused person, and we've got like a deer with some giant antlers. Oh, yeah, see, look, it's even maximizing them so we can see them better. We've got the eye, the hand, the man, and the deer. In Seers Isle, your progress is saved automatically. You won't be able to change the decisions you've made, just like real life. However, the sum of your choices always leads to different scenarios. It's impossible to lose in Seers Isle, unlike real life. Choose wisely. I was the wind. Time no longer existed. Disembodied solitude was my punishment. This was what the Seers had decided. Oh, Seers, why would you do that? Punishment forever. I saw the heathland coat itself in purple flowers, the grass yellow at Litha. The leaves of 100-year oaks reddening and falling to cover the mossy undergrowth with orange-brown mold. And now it's snowing. The first snows of Yule. That's like the Christmas times. Not a living soul. Oh, no one to celebrate the Christmas times. I forgot who I was. I hope this wasn't Santa. Then they arrived. Uh-oh. Chapter 1. We've got 7 chapters over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. First chapter is cliffs. We're nearing a beach. There. Do you see it? Look, here's all the people on the boat. There's an undercurrent. If we put in head on, we won't have time to maneuver to avoid the reefs. Uh-oh. The music's getting intense. You know this is serious now. I see it. But if we keep the sail full, with the sea breeze, we should be fine, right? We're losing speed. If we don't do something, we'll drift towards the cliffs before we reach the shore. Listen, I don't want to be a killjoy, but have you seen those big black clouds? Connor looks towards the island with obvious concern. The rain begins to fall. This storm doesn't feel natural. They turn to look at Arlen. You're the sailor. What do we do? Well, I'm not sure, Whatever we do, we risk foundering on a reef or getting swept out to sea. If there's a collision, I'm not sure the boat can take it. It would be disastrous. The rain pours down and thunder rumbles. Alright, chat, that means look at that, see? It's the first choice. Again, you can use exclamation point C instead, and that's supposed to work. So we can, 1, reduce the sails, or 2, they force the passage. Alright, so we can observe how it works now if you make your choices alright. See, look at that. See how it gives that little green light? It says, hey, most of chat is making the vote for number 2. So, I could always go, no, I think I'm going to reduce the sails. And I could select that instead. Or I can go with what's voted for most. I can see now, too, the 1 has a little bit of a yellow highlight, probably then indicating that there has been some votes for number 1, but 2 has more. I click on screen. No, Baldir, that's not how you do it. You have to type in the chat exclamation point choose or C to make the vote. Thank you. Yep, I got the wild card against chat, essentially. So, I'll go ahead and go with the chat decision this time. That glow is very faint. Well, I can see it, so it's cool. That's probably, if you mean like yellow, it's probably faint because not a lot of people voted for it. So, we force the passage. We are not a bunch of pansies here. We're power. We can do it. Let's go. Connor is sitting at the bottom of the boat, clinging to the rail. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. The sea becomes more and more troubled. Hold on tight! The boat continues its course, coming dangerously close to the reefs, which break through the surface. The beach seems to rush towards them. A crash resounds on the port side. We're hit! Uh-oh. Get the oars out! We're going to force passage! Everyone obeys and they redouble their efforts to fight against the current, somehow trying to avoid the reefs. Water seeps into the hole, filling it with water. Maneuvering becomes more and more difficult. The group, absorbed in their efforts, doesn't see the ground swell, which buffets the skiff and carries it towards the beach. Without hesitation, Eric leaps into the water and pulls the boat up before it can get caught in the backwash. Oh my god, powerful. He just leaps out of the boat, grabs the rope, and just fucking starts pulling it up on the beach. Yeah, fucking Eric the Chad. Oh my god. Connor sees something out of the corner of his eye. Brandon is overboard! What? Brandon! No! Far away, a silhouette is struggling against the current! No! Duncan is ready to jump into the water, but Arlen can still take the lead. Who's gonna jump out and try and save poor Brandon? Is it gonna be Duncan over here? Guy with headband? Or Arlen, girl with cape, who's apparently the sailor person? Now, if we consider here, too, she's the sailor. If she jumped out to try and save Brandon, what if she dies? Are we going to need to go sailing later on? Then we'll lose, like, our main sailor knowledge. But what if Duncan knows more about survivability and here we come crashing on the beach? And we're going to need that information. Who's the dispensable person here is the real question. Most people are saying, Arlen, go save them. So let's go, Arlen. You could probably swim better anyway. I thought a sailor could swim, maybe. I would imagine so. You'd hope that someone who's a sailor can swim pretty well. Oh, look, standing up at the top of the screen, we could see that the hand and the man both lit up. Arlen strips off everything that can slow her down and throws herself into the water. She probably threw off her cape then, too. In the wind and rain, two silhouettes can barely be seen in the turmoil. Jennifer says, It's Brandon. He must have fallen overboard when we hit the reefs. Several times the swimmer disappears behind a wave, and Duncan has the time to wonder if she is drowned before she reappears. Finally, Arlen reaches Brandon and turns to make her way towards the shore. She did it! As soon as she is close enough to the beach, Duncan and Eric run to help her carry Brandon out of the water. She did it. Chat, we've saved Brandon. I thought we should swim with capes on to help with the drowning happen more. Yeah, clearly, come on, keep on as much clothing pieces as possible. It'll help you out when you try and save someone. The two men carry him higher up on the beach, out of reach of the waves, and lay him gently on the sand. Brandon is unconscious. Uh-oh. Have we saved him? We saved his body, at least. Jennifer kneels by the carpenter's head. Carpenter, hang on. This guy better not fucking die, because if we're here and trapped on the island, we need a carpenter to build things for us. He's unconscious, but he's breathing. She rummages in her bag and pulls out a small brown glass vial. Lifting his head with one hand, she waves the vial under his nostrils with the other. Oh, smelling salts, pretty much. Oh my god! Brandon's eyes snap open and he splutters and chokes. Look at him, oh my god, he's like freaking out. Jennifer helps him turn over. When he is on all fours, he vomits up a quantity of salt water. Smell these drugs, she says, stuffing them up his nose. She turns to the group. His life isn't in danger. However, his leg is wounded. I'll have to bandage it straight away. So it sounds like Jennifer is like the sort of healer medic person of their group. So, fortunately, we did save him. So, excellent job to Arlen, rescuing it from the waters. His breeches are torn, and he has an ugly gash across his right shin. Oh my god, Freya! We should make a fire to warm him up. Wow. She's badass. Look at this. She's got markings on her. She's got, like, furry cape piece. She's got spear and bow and arrows. She's the badass one. Good idea. Besides, Arlen's soaked to the skin. She might be our fighter. Possibly. Oh, I'm used to it. I'll go and collect some wood. I don't plan to stay in these wet clothes. Isn't it still raining? You're gonna swap out to another set of clothes and just get wet again. Yes, that's the best way to catch a fever, says Jennifer, also standing out soaked in the rain. I'll see if I can find a way inland. Eric over here, the one who pulled the boat, also the other badass of the group, also covered in markings. Holy shit. He is a massive lad. Can we marry this guy? It said you could pick your soulmate at the end of this. The driving rain has lightened to a fine drizzle, as if the Seers had willed this storm for their arrival. The beach is littered with wrecks, old and less old, and is surrounded by a high, pale stone cliff. You're married to Chet? Oh, shit. Right. What's it's married to Moobot? Well, Moobot isn't here. Freya gets up to catch Eric, while Arlen prepares to go seeking wood for the fire. That might be a little bit difficult, because I think most of the wood she's going to find is damp, which is going to be very hard to light on fire. Hello, watch Freya or watch Arlen. I'm pretty sure we want to watch Freya. Like, alright, Arlen's not bad. She's just saved, you know, Brandon out there swimming. But come on, fucking Freya over here. Hell yeah. I'll give chat a moment to put in their picks though. And it looks like most of the votes are going towards Freya anyway. So, boom, gonna go watch her. And look, that means we get to watch Eric also. Eric moves away. Maybe? Freya calls to him.
Wait, I'm coming with you.
She runs a few strides to catch up with him. Eric watches her approach with scorn. What? He's like, I do this alone. I don't need any help. Get out of here, stupid Freya. Oh, hot shit. I warn you, I don't intend to wait for you. In my clan, the women have better things to do than bothering the hunters. Excuse me, Eric. Does she answer in response to this comment, or is she just gonna ignore it? I don't like Eric anymore. See, now with Freya's might and power, she's gonna show him that even though she is a lady, she's still tough and powerful. Fuck you, Eric. She answers.
In my clan, the men and women hunt together,
Even if the men are slower. Ooh, yeah, see? She's like, oh, well, fuck you, Eric. Pathetic. Weak. Eric grits his teeth and puts a menacing hand on his sword. He's like, oh, slow, huh? Yeah, fucking slow shit. And then she starts booking it ahead of him, as if to challenge him to a race.
Listen, we don't have to like each other, but wouldn't it be better to put aside our differences?
No, he says, pulling out his sword, and they begin to duel. Eric laughs. Oh, I wouldn't want you to think you're right, so I'll keep my sword sheathed for now.
Let's head east. It doesn't look so steep that way.
But what if I want to go west? The two of them set off walking.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. Look at him smile over here, is like, fucking really?
What's a warrior like you doing on the island of the Seers? I thought it was the women who acted as shamans in all of the northern clans.
Oh, well, that's a very different expression. After that, like, weird smug-ass smile or something, he's just like, oh. That's not the question I was expecting. Eric stops and stares out to sea. Her voice is way more powerful. Are you saying that high-pitched voices can't be powerful and aren't powerful? Because, excuse me, just because you might sound loud, like high-pitched and cutie, does not mean you don't hold power, alright? I also voiced her there while she was still on the ship and we didn't see what she looked like, so I'm committing to the voice. Not for us. My father was our clan's shaman. He was killed during a raid at Samhain. I made a vow to take his place, to honor his memory. Alright, so it sounds like even though he looks like powerful warrior, he's also acting as a shaman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You, the clan of the bear, you're protected by the forest and the other clans, like mine, whose lands are closer to the ocean. It's us who are the first to suffer the raids of the invaders from the sea. Do they have to deal with sea monsters, krakens reaching their arms up and harassing them? Isn't Petru the most powerful of all, therefore proving the higher the pitch, the stronger you get? True! Isn't Samhain Halloween? Yeah. Yeah.
See, then it makes it especially fitting for today. Halloween!
Those savages spare no one. Eric turns towards Freya. And you? What led you to become a shaman? Okay, so I guess Seers Isle is maybe just for shamans in general, so everybody aboard that ship was coming from a bunch of different clans and they've all kind of crewed up together to travel here to learn some shamaning, maybe? They're all shamans in training, perhaps? Yes?
My family was chosen to succeed Gudrid, our shaman.
Ah, I see. That's the custom.
Yes, in our clan, the shaman selects the person who will succeed them. It's a great honor.
Uh-oh. She seems like she's very reserved here.
I hope one day I'll be as good as healer as Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer seemed pretty good at that.
Gudrid didn't have the time to initiate me in the art of herbalism.
Oh, oh, you don't know how to heal? Pathetic. Think about that later. First, we have to survive the initiation. Did you see that storm? Got a feeling the Seers aren't going to make life easy for us. Are they responsible or are they not responsible, though? Here you are saying the Seers are putting us to the test already, but are they to blame? I don't know. We gotta learn how to waterbend? Imagine if we already knew how to waterbend while we were still on that boat. Then we could have easily just bent the water to our whim and made it to the beach perfectly safely. I don't know your lore, you macho dork. Come on. Hell. Sure, let's not blame the Seers then. Which gave us some points in deer, apparently?
I don't believe the Seers had anything to do with that storm.
Still, the weather changing all at once like that. Not natural. I don't know, weather can change very quickly out at open seas fast. Seers equals deers? That is pretty similar, it's true.
I don't know. There's no mention of that kind of test in the lore. And I don't believe that the Seers want to eliminate us before giving us a real chance of passing the initiation.
The Seers gazing down and are like, please, we don't even want to waste any of our time on you if you can't even make it through just a little bit of water turmoil. Come on. That was truly the real start of the initiation. Proving that it was a bunch of deers who caused that storm. We gaze up towards the cliff and there's just a pack of deers up there staring down at us. We look up and spot them and they all get spooked and are like, shit, we've been seen, and they all hop away pretending that they weren't doing anything up there. Still, when you see all those wrecks on the beach, Freya stops at the foot of the cliff.
Look, there's a...
Eric squints. Is there a deer up there? Because that would be pretty good. No, okay, it's just a path. Yeah, it looks like a path. Oh my god, it's steep. What looked like a stair seemed to have delved into the rock and snake up the cliff face. Think we found our way inland.
But who could have built it? It must have been a colossal task.
The deers. Eric shrugs. Shall we go back and tell the others? The deers built those stairs because they like to travel down, for a little bit of a beach hangout, a beach episode. And climbing the cliffs, incredibly inconvenient, so they made themselves a set of stairs. Eric and Freya turn back. When they arrive at the camp, the group is huddling around a small fire, drying off. Brandon seems to have come around. Look, oh, poor Brandon with his leg bandaged. Connor wants to speak, but he hesitates when he sees Freya and Eric heading towards them. Was he gonna start gossiping about us and talk poorly? That's not very nice. We found a path. There's a stair that climbs the length of the cliff. A stair? How is that possible? I thought this island had always been uninhabited.
And even if... I don't know who could have built such a thing. Hundreds of steps carved into the rock.
All I know is that there's a path, and I don't plan to take root here.
Wait, I don't think it's wise to just charge ahead like that. Do the legends speak of this stair?
I don't think so. I've never read any mention of it. But you're right. It wouldn't be a bad idea to put together what we know together. What do we know about the trials ahead of us? Okay, it's time to find out about the trials they're talking about, chat. And hello there, Painsaw. Yes, Viking visual novel. Where they're a bunch of, like, oracle, seer, shaman type people? Freya suddenly speaks. She seems to be reciting something she has learned by heart. The music just changed. Is she supposed to be singing it? I don't know.
We must reach the top of the mountain at the center of this island. Along the path, we will have trials to overcome. The Seers will give the sacred flame to those who reach the summit. The sacred flame bestows the gift of second sight, of divination, and of healing to those who are worthy. After, we rejoin our respective clans as shamans.
Freya lowers her eyes.
Unfortunately, I know little more.
La 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 la
La la la la, it's Seers. La 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 la. It's Seers. Ayo da 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 da. My mentor prepared me as well as she could, but she never told me what happened on this island during her own initiation.
The others are quiet. When they get to the end of their trial, the Seers actually have prepared, like, a set of paperwork, you know, again, the non-disclosure agreements. And everybody is required to sign them before they head off and return to their clans. That way, the secrets of the Isle are not spread about to any of the other people. The first trial is to not get eaten by the mental storm-bringing deers. Indeed. That's probably always part of the trials, is to just not get eaten by any of the creatures you encounter. Vikings are very legal people, truly. Indeed, they stick very strongly to their laws and to their contracts. I have to admit, I can't add much more. Leith, the shaman of my clan, the only one who returned from his expedition. Never spoke of it either. Or they're all horribly traumatized and they just don't want to talk or think about it anymore. Brandon gets up and limps a few steps.
I don't want to die here. If someone had told me if I'd...
Brandon breaks off with a blank gaze. Does Connor reassure him, or is Connor just gonna stare blankly at him, thinking about what a pain in the ass this guy is? What? You didn't think your life could possibly be at risk, and if you had known, you would have just totally bailed on the entire idea? Huh? Connor's going to opt for being nice, though. Maybe he's going to be like, no, he is going to reassure Brandon. He's going to say, Brandon, it's okay. We're all here. We all are going to face this together. It's a team. We'll be all right. And then Brandon dies immediately afterwards. Connor gonna bromance Brandon. Oh, look at them. Oh, and then they hug it out. Connor gets up and puts a hand on the carpenter's shoulder. There now, we're all in the same boat. Anyway, we're not going to leave you here all alone. With this round, I'm going to slow you down a lot, though. Oh, I don't want to put the success of the whole group at risk.
The injury isn't very deep, and there's nothing broken. This time tomorrow, you'll be walking normally. In the meantime, we'll find you a walking stick, and you'll be able to keep up.
Freya looks doubtful. I don't know, that wound's looking pretty intense.
You haven't seen the stair. It's really steep, and with the rain, the steps are going to be slippery. It will take hours to get Brandon up that way.
All right, just leave him at the bottom, climb to the top, devise up a pulley system, throw down a rope he grabs on, and we haul him up. Yeah, medic waifu's pretty good. Brandon looks hopeless. To everyone's relief, Arlen speaks up, thank God, because no one else knew what to say. Thank you, Arlen.
While we were collecting the wood, Connor and I found a boat.
Hello. I don't know. But do we need a boat? Unless you're implying we're going to sail off this section of the beach to another one or something. Yeah, it seems like Arlen is kind of the leader here.
A boat? You mean something that's not a wreck?
Yes, a bit further, behind a rock. Oh, it was hidden behind a rock the entire time. Oh my God.
The hull looks sound, but the sail is torn. Maybe we could use it to go around the island. Seeing as no one has heard about the stair, there has to be another way in,
right? I don't know about that. Seeing as none of the shaman talked about what was on this island, I feel like coming across this unknown stair doesn't mean that, like, nobody knew about it or there isn't another way in. That could be the only one. You know? Are you sure this boat can go to sea?
Sure? No, I couldn't say that. But I believe Brandon is a carpenter.
Brandon, you'll be able to tell us if the boat is seaworthy, won't you? The sailor, unable to tell if the boat can sail or not. Yeah, no problem at all. We've been carpenters for generations, father to son, in my family. Alright, now, while you can pass down knowledge without a problem, I don't think that automatically qualifies you as having all of the carpentry knowledge. What if you were a terrible learner and you never picked up on carpentry at all, as hard as your father tried to teach you? I build tables. I'm sure I can figure out boat. Exactly. What if he never even looked at a boat in his entire life? I have no idea. I saw wood once. I know wood. Exactly. We don't know his level of skill. It was seaworthy when you left me to drown. Oh, that's a different boat. Hello there, Dr. Corgi, and welcome to the stream. I mean, I'm only the third son, but I'm just as capable as my elder brothers. Oh, look at Brandon's face when he says this too. He's like, I might be younger, but I'm good at carpentry also. Oh, Brandon. He heard us talking about him and making fun. Oh no. I know about boats. I'm used to this kind of work. If you say so, Brandon. Perfect. In that case, let's go see this boat. The group sets off. Look, he's leapt up on the boat, inspecting it, checking it out. When they arrive at the other craft, Brandon sets to work checking its condition. He stoops under the hull, then pulls a rope to check if it's sound. And thank you for following Sonalil. Hello, welcome. Appreciated. Huh. The others patiently wait while the carpenter checks everything. Well, there's a bit of damage to repair if we want to go into open sea, but it should hold up if we stay close to the coast. Okay, so we don't even need to fix the boat if all we're doing is sticking close to the island and doing a quick sail around. Brandon hesitates. What is it? What are you not telling us? Well, I know it's impossible, but I think this is... Well, I think it's our boat. Bunch of dummies. They just found their own fucking boat. Connor takes a few steps back to look at the craft, and in fact, the resemblance is striking. Imagine sailing and crashing on the beach with your own boat. You hop off, you look at it, you leave. You come back later and you're like, wait a second. Because they all crashed, they lost track of the boat, they've come back to it, and they can't even tell it's their own boat right away. If we all start starving to death, we choose to eat Brandon first, right? I don't think we should eat our carpenter first. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Is this where we parked? How do you lose a boat? See, I guess they crashed when the storm was still so intense, they all, like, flew off from their boat, and I guess they all either they all ended up totally distanced from their boat, or they walked away from it, forgot where it was parked, and now have come back. I don't know, but apparently they didn't realize that this was their boat. Unless it's a boat duplicate. See? Oh, boat duplicate. Somebody copy-pasted our boat. But our boat is over there. How can this one be our boat? Brendan hobbles over to the prow and points to a rope. Right here, you see? The rope? Somebody dragged it over here. I don't know. But look. You see the painter there? It's split along the length, just like ours. And there, on the forecastle deck, there are two matching boards with a heart-shaped sapwood. You can check, but I'm sure it's exactly the same on our craft. Duncan looks at the boat, fascinated. Harlan is dismayed. Eric looks serious, and Brandon continues. That said, the good news is that our sail is the perfect size, seeing as the boats are identical. It's not worth the risk. Someone plagiarized our boat. Oh my god. Worse than a copy-paste. They copy-pasted and then wrote on it, made by me. Somebody stole our boat and is trying to take credit for it. What? Can we combine the boats? That sounds like that's what we're doing by taking the sail from our boat and sticking it on this one. It's not worth the risk. If the boats are really identical, it might be a trick the Seers are playing on us. I think it would be wiser to take the stare.
I don't think we should consider that in our decision. Who's to say the Seers haven't given us a copy of our boat to help us?
If we believe the legends, this type of strange phenomenon is going to happen more and more often as we get closer to the summit. But the stairs still seem safer to me. A sure way to get inland. Nothing guarantees we'll find a better way by sea. Besides, we should get going straight away. The longer we wait, the less distance we cover before nightfall. I think we're all agreed that we don't want to linger on this island.
Easy, Duncan. Maybe we could ask everyone before taking a decision, don't you think? Jennifer's right. Everyone should be able to say what they think.
Ugh, opinions? But I want to make the decisions for everybody. Baldir has to wander away to go make dinner, all right. Thanks for coming on by, Baldir. I trust stairs over spooky ghost clone ship. Yeah, I would say the same thing. Freya and Eric exchange glances. Eric shakes his head.
I think it would be better to look for another way in by sea. That stair looked really dangerous. There's got to be a safer route. Plus, Brandon can't come with us if we take the stair.
With that wound, he'll slow us down a lot.
Ahem. If you'll allow me to give my opinion.
They turn to look at Brandon.
It doesn't bother me to stay here.
Oh.
What? You'd give up on the trial?
Listen, I think it's clear to everyone that I'm not really made to be a shaman. I promised my family to do my best, to honor my clan, but still, I don't intend to die on this island. Leave me here. With my share of the supplies, I'll get by just fine. Oh, Brandon.
What about you, Connor? What do you think?
Connor is taken unawares. He's not used to people asking for his opinion. Nobody normally cares about poor Connor. They always just overlook him and go, he probably has nothing good to say, and they just walk right past him. Yes. I need to change his voice too, because I had made it too similar to Brandon. So I'm going to do a voice swap for him. So, yes. What?
Or maybe it's more gentle, because nobody listens to him normally.
Yes, what? Sorry.
Arlen and Freya want to take the boat. Eric and Duncan want to take the stair. Brendan's fine with us taking the stair and leaving him here with some supplies. As for me, I think it would be wiser to find another way.
Oh, so Connor's a tiebreaker. He's not used to this. I also like his singular earring. It makes me think of a pirate. He's the pirate Connor man. Pirate man Connor. Connor hesitates. If he doesn't intervene, Eric will probably drive the group into taking the stair, even if it means abandoning Brandon.
Connor?
Okay. Take the stair and leave Brandon behind. Take the boat. Or don't get involved. So Connor did also, he was the one to reassure Brandon earlier, right? Imagine earlier on when Brandon was like, oh, and then Connor comes over and be like, it's okay, buddy. And then some time passes and you're just like, never mind, fuck you, I don't like you anymore, see ya. It seems like, though, chat is saying, yeah, let's take the boat. Let's not ditch Brandon. Brandon can enjoy the spooky boat alone. Oh. Brandon, what if Brandon knows something we don't, though, and he's actually just a vicious manipulator, and he says, yeah, you guys just take the stairs, sure. And then we all take the stairs, we all slip and die. Brandon grabs the boat, sails it around, makes it to the end on his own. Okay, so wild thought, we take the boat and ride it down the stair. The problem with that is that we're not going down the stair, we need to go up the stair. Thus, problem. But hello there, Gray, and welcome to the stream. Make sure to leave the boat window cracked. He'll need fresh air. That's a fair point. What if we just straight up opened up that crack some more, turned it into a window? That sounds like it'd be a nice addition. We'll go ahead and then take the boat. Well, I'm more inclined to take the boat. It would be a shame to abandon one of our own before we've even got inland. Arlen, would you be able to get the sail from the other boat?
Yes, no problem.
Ocean view window in your boat? Exactly! Imagine how nice that would be. Arlen loses no time and jogs to their wrecked boat. She's glad to feel useful. Tell the truth, all of these stories of Seers and the sacred flame disturb her. She hoists herself onto the deck, takes off her shoes while she judges, at a glance, the height of the mast, then she swarms up the cross tree. Whoa, wow, oh my god, look at her go. She recalls with affection the climbing races she had as a child with her brothers and sisters. In the evenings, after supper, when the fishing boats returned to port and night had not yet fallen. Straddled in the rigging, she unties the sail. Their craft isn't very complicated, which helps the job. Beneath her, Brandon is recovering the bag with the tools, slipped under the forecastle. Aw, look at them! Hi, Brandon!
Hey up there!
Oh, look! I was like looking over at him, and then I looked at the text, and look at that. She's even saying, hey, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon! Hey, Arlen!
The young man looks up.
Can you catch the sail?
Yeah, go on!
Brandon grabs a corner so that the canvas isn't carried away by the breeze. If she jogged there, how did hobbled Brandon get here so quick? Probably she jogged over, climbed up, and started working on the sails over here, and it took her a little bit of time. So in that time that she took to take care of all that, Brandon did make it here. Arlen unties the last knot, then slides down to the deck. Shall we fold it? The two fold the canvas and return to the group with the sail and the tools. Or not quite, or I guess unless they're at the new boat, hang on. As soon as they arrive at the other boat, Brandon sets to work repairing the weakest points in the hull. Brandon's wound seems painful, but despite that, he seems much more in his element, which makes Arlen feel better. She's not the only one to feel completely outmatched by these great warriors from the northern clans, who seem born to come to this island. The difference is that, unlike Brandon, she doesn't have the luxury of giving up at the first obstacle. The well-being of her family depends on the success of her initiation. Brandon over there was like, I'm gonna give up. Arlen over here, apparently, actually, she's got a lot riding on her success. She has to win and become a shaman, or else everything is terrible. Arlen realizes that she will need help to attach the sail. It looks like we're going to pick who's gonna help her out. Yep. Who are we going to ask for help? Connor, Duncan, or Freya? I like Freya over here, just checking out her arrow. I don't know what she's done with her bow and her quiver because they're not lying around. Maybe she set them down on the other side of the rock, I suppose? Also, make sure you notice that these aren't in 1, 2, 3 order. This is 1, 2, and 3. So Freya's not 3. Connor over here's 3. Duncan is not 2. He is 1. So it's going like around clockwise here. We need to give the High Elf a chance. It's true, we haven't really interacted with Connor very much. He seems like he's a little bit on the quiet side. More reserved. No one's really interested in asking Freya for help, though. Tied between Connor and Duncan. So I think we'll give Connor some more chance here, sure. Let's go, Connor. Connor has moved away and is idly watching Eric. We're going to choose the Pirate Man. I don't think it's Connor that's saying this. I assume it's like Arlen that's saying, hey, Connor. Not Connor saying, hey, Connor.
Hey, Connor!
Either Connor is lost in thought, or he's pretending not to hear. The pirate cutie, oh my god. He turns on his heels and ambles off in the opposite direction. Oh, god damn it. Connor over here playing it like he can't hear. He's just like, I don't wanna. Hey, Connor, you bitch, stop it! I'm trying to ask you for help. Get back here! Clearly, he doesn't want to help out. Well, we're gonna make him. Are we gonna make him do it? He thinks he can just pretend not to hear us and wander away. No. Look that, Connor, get your ass over here. Arlen insists.
Hey!
Connor! Hey! Oi! Finally, Connor deigns to respond. Yes, excuse me? Alright, are we going to ask him nicely, or are we gonna make, probably a snide remark complaining about, what, you couldn't hear me even though you're, like, fucking a couple feet away? Oh my god. Of course, if we're gonna harass him this much, maybe you don't want to, like, harass him and then make a rude remark towards him. That probably is not the way to make friends. We'll ask him nicely. He was busy brooding. It's true, that's why we gotta be polite towards him now.
Could you please give me a hand putting the sail up, please?
Connor rolls his eyes. You know, I'm not very good at hands-on stuff. What kind of voice would Connor have? Hang on. He needs... I keep swapping around his voice because I want to make sure it's different enough from the other dudes here. And trying to get a feel out for his personality. Connor seems like a real me, chat. Oh, well. Probably, he's probably the closest to a lot of people of being a little bit reserved.
Not really good at the physical work, see ya!
Oh, holy shit, the simp voice. There's a voice. You know, I'm not very good at hands-on stuff. Why don't you ask Eric? He doesn't look busy, does he? Hearing his name, Eric turns. Hey, city boy, we're not your servants. He strides towards them, his hand grasping the hilt of his sword in an unmistakable threat, and then he pulls it out and chops Connor in half, saying, tell me what to do again, and oh, oops, already killed you. Guess you're never telling me what to do again, and then he leaves. Arlen asked you for help, so you help her without complaining, okay? Fine, no need to get upset. I just wanted to point out that Connor stops short as Eric draws his weapon. Oh my god. Oh my god. A tense silence sets in. Connor over here complaining. Eric is like, no, fuck that, Connor. No complaints are going to be happening here. Connor risks a forced smile. What do you want me to do, Arlen?
I guess I won't ask you to climb the mast, then?
Connor lifts a shoulder in a mischievous shrug.
Fine, I understand. Can you just hand me up the new sail so that it doesn't get twisted? Can you manage that?
Well, but of course. I feel like that simp voice then is probably fairly well fitting for him. He seems like he is, since Eric made the comment about City Boy. He's maybe a little bit on the spoiled side. Like, look at this fancy ring that he has on his finger. Clearly wealthy. I'm a productive member of this expedition. You can completely count on my expertise, which is absolutely vital to the success of this key mission, he says sarcastically. Connor glances at Eric, rolling his eyes. Eric snorts and sheathes his sword. Arlen gets to work with Connor's help. In no time at all, the old sail is on the ground and, despite a few difficulties, Arlen manages to hang the new sail along the yarn arm. Yard arm? I don't know. She stands back to inspect her work. Brandon joins her. Is the sail okay? Yes, you were right. Our sail is the perfect size. And you, were you able to repair the hull? I've done the bare minimum so that she doesn't sink like a brick. Well, that's good. But it will need a few days' work if we want to get back to the mainland with this boat. Eric approaches. Oh, good. Can it get in the water? Arlen and Brandon agree. Yes, it can, and look, we're going out back to the sea. Can he fix my boat made entirely of bricks? I don't know. Does carpentry usually involve brick work too? This time, the waters are calm. A soft breeze off the sail fills the sail. Or a soft breeze off the sea fills the sail. The Undines, the spirit protectors of the sea, have decided this time to let them pass. They have rounded a cove towards the north. I waited on the Bay of Whales. Who am I? A gentle, accommodating current carries the boat to me. They moored and prepared to go on to the heathland. I guess I am that, mysterious spirit that was apparently trapped in solitude, right? That is me. I am prepared to haunt them and cause wacky pranks. And so they get spooked and scared and are terribly frightened. Freya has barely jumped onto the beach when Duncan reaches the end of the creek. The narrator is a shaman stalker. That would make sense. Oh, there's a path. The others run to join him, but Freya is fascinated by the gigantic bones strewn across the sand of the bay. Some are scattered on the ground, others point towards the sky, like teeth. The entire island is actually just a giant monster. The island eats the sky, eating them in the process. Everybody dies, and that's the end of the story. She finds it hard to believe that an animal of that size could exist. When she was small, the shaman of her clan had taken her on a pilgrimage in the mountains. An island mimic, oh my god. Imagine if there were island mimics. They always have the stories about the chest mimics mainly. What if you went into an entire island? Like, here you are, you're like, I'm going to go explore that island, see what it's got. You've gotten over there, and suddenly a bunch of teeth burst out from it. Boom, that island was a mimic this entire time. They always have the stories about islands that can move because they're on the backs of giant creatures. What if the island itself is a giant creature? And there's Dunder. Hello, Dunder. I don't think you did say hello at all. Hello to you. Welcome. In a painted cave, which traced the origins of her clan, there had also been the remains of a huge animal, but that was nothing in comparison. Gudrid had explained to her that it was the skeleton of a woolly elephant, a giant beast that the ancestors hunted and revered at the dawn of time. But it had vanished when the ices had retreated from the world, and the clan had chosen a new totem. Freya feels a presence behind her. Arlen! It looks like whale skeletons. She turns, intrigued. I guess Freya has never seen or knew about whales or their skeletons?
whales? Some kind of monster?
Arlen laughs.
Oh, no. They're not monsters. They're a type of sea animal. They're not aggressive.
Unless you find the white whale. The one from, Moby Dick. Freya has trouble picturing the animal. A kind of fish, perhaps?
We see them in open sea sometimes, in fall and spring.
Arlen looks serious.
But I'm surprised to see so many stranded in the same place.
They rarely come close to the coast, usually. What if the island was eating the whales and that's why the whale bones are here?
You know, in my village, it's a sacred animal. It's forbidden to fish for them. In any case, to fish that, you would need a really, really big hook, right?
The two girls laugh. It's true, they would need a really big hook. Imagine them taking just an even normal fishing pole and sending them out in order to catch some whales. Picture that, even on their little boat and pulling that. Imagine having just that little boat that they were riding in to get to this island and going fishing for whales. You catch one on that tiny hook and you pull it in, and the whale, bigger than your boat, is just like laying across it. Now it just looks like you're riding a whale. Arlen points at a big oblong bone lying a little further away on the sand. That, though, that comes from a real sea monster. What?
Oh, yes? It's not a whale bone, that? No, I think it's a cuttlefish bone, but I've never seen one as big as that.
Cuttlefish are like little octopus squid type creatures. Kraken.
The ones we catch are little, but this one must have been really massive.
Arlen shows the size with her fingers.
What's a cuttlefish? A little bit like a squid
Or an octopus. See? These strange words don't convey much to Freya. It seems like Freya knows very little about sea creatures in general, beyond fish, I guess. How can I explain? You've got sand, Arlen. Just draw a little picture. It's sort of a fish with 8 tentacles, like arms, if you like. It walks on its head. Do you see? Arlen tries to imitate the animal with limited success. Arlen sticks her arms out to the side and starts like wiggling them around, kind of like you're doing a wave or something. Freya kens that the sea is surely full of mysteries, but it's delicious to eat. If we pass the initiation, you'll have to come see me in my village. I'll prepare you some. I mean, if you want. Look! Arlen is like, hey, Freya, after this trip over here on the island, do you want to maybe, I don't know, come visit me? Maybe I could make you something to eat? She says, poking her 2 fingers together shyly. Oh, a free seafood date. Oh. Freya agrees. She would be keen on some fish, some octopus, cuttlefish, squid creature food. Freya is about to accept the invitation when Duncan interrupts. Duncan, no! I didn't even get a chance to say yes to Arlen. Oh, cock blocked. Hey, are you coming? Piss off, Duncan. Truly. Get away! I'm trying to date Freya here. Excuse me. Don't make me promises too soon, cutie. I might want to cannibalize you soon. Oh no. Guess we are out on this island. We don't know what's gonna happen.
On our way.
Come on, let's go. Otherwise we'll get told off by the boss. I guess Orlin is not really the one in charge. It's Duncan over there. Oh, see, we're even commenting about it. Duncan's not the boss. Duncan seems to have things in hand. Yeah, that's right. Look off, Duncan. You're not in charge of us. We do what we want. Come on, Arlen. Let's go have that seafood date right now.
The boss? You mean Duncan?
Oh, don't look like that. I was just joking. Oh, Arlen. The hunter and the fisher rejoin the group, who are about to take a path which winds along the cliff. Freya notices that the slope is gentler on this side, and the cliff's much lower. Nothing like the stair she and Eric had discovered earlier that day. Ah, see, so there is a much easier path over here. There we go. See, Eric, if we had taken the stair, then we wouldn't have this easy path instead. Like, even sailing the boat over here was nice and simple. Jennifer has rebandaged the cut on Brandon's shin. The wound isn't bleeding anymore and looks like it's starting to heal.
It's going to be okay, Brandon. Can you get up?
Brandon tries to stay cool, but it's clear he is suffering from Jennifer's probing. Ouch! Yeah, it should be okay. With a walking stick, I shouldn't lag behind too much. And he's got one already, I see.
The cut is already closing. Yes, I think you can walk.
Jennifer, I think he already has been walking, unless you mean like right now, because he was over there working on the boat earlier, excuse me. And hello there, beggar, and welcome to the stream, and thank you. Appreciated.
I'll stay with you, to help you.
Duncan waves to the others to follow, and sets off on the path. Eric, then the others, follow him. What? Is this me? Duncan and Connor disappear around a bend in the path. There is a stifled cry. The rest of the group hasten their pace. Connor points up to a figure above the cliff. Freya looks up. There is a child at the entry to the heathland. His small body, covered by a patterned tunic, is motionless. The face, hidden under an elaborately decorated wooden mask, conceals the intentions of this strange being. But most disturbing are the antlers that seem to grow from the creature's skull. The young group doesn't know how to react. The air feels storm-charged, as if a bolt of divine lightning could strike them at any moment. Connor looks terrified. The others seem transfixed by this unexpected presence. After a long moment, the child slowly turns and vanishes towards the inland. And there goes that weird deer child! Uh-oh, we joked about there being some just deer causing the storm? What if it's not just deer causing the storm, but deer people? Those antlers would make a great prize to return home with. Eric thinks, rubbing his hands together. Oh my god. We could have been friends. Oh, if only someone had spoken out and just said hello. It would have, broken the silence, and maybe the child wouldn't have gotten scared and ran away. When they reach the top of the cliff, a desolate plain stretches before them, covered in high grass and heather. Further away, in the mist, the summit can be seen. Suddenly, the wind rises, lifting their cloaks and hair. The sun disappears beneath a shroud of volatile colors. The antlered child is gone. Oh, Chapter 2. With many more antlered children. Wait, hang on. Do you see the reflection of this person? That's more than just a little weird antlered child. It's a fancy antlered lady. Winds. They advanced into the heathland beneath the incessant howling of the wind. I watched them from afar. The Seers have a stronger hold here, inland. I must be careful that my presence isn't felt. Duncan and Eric lead the convoy and fix a fast pace for the other members of the expedition. Arlen comes at the back. She hurries to catch up with Jennifer.
Jennifer?
The healer turns towards Arlen. A benevolent smile lightens her face. It awes Arlen that Jennifer can be so kind without it undermining her determination. What we saw earlier, was it a seer?
Yes, at least the legend described them like that. Have you never heard the stories told about them?
My father isn't from around here. He comes from the south. As for my mother, well, let's just say she didn't have the time to pass all that down to me. Oh.
Oh, I understand.
Do you know what they want? The Seers.
No one really knows their intentions. They choose those who are worthy to receive the gifts, but we don't know how or why.
Jennifer reflects for a few moments.
But why have you come to this island if you weren't prepared for the trials?
Well, I'm the eldest of a large family. I have to take care of my brothers and sisters. When Enid, the healer of my village, died, I agreed to submit to the initiation to replace her. In exchange, the people of my village will ensure that my family lacks for nothing. Ah, so she made a deal. There you go. So she was like, okay, I'll be the shaman if everybody else helps take care of my family. All right, cool, thumbs up.
Yes, I can imagine it can't be easy being the daughter of an outsider in a small village.
A fleeting, bitter, yet resigned smile across Arlen's face. Enid was the only one to regard us as only one not to regard us as strange beasts. Oh. So all of the other people of our village were like, who are these weirdos? But Enid was like, they're not weirdos. They're friends and welcomed us in. Oh. Enid. She explained the rudiments to me. How to prepare a few ointments. And you're not a bit too old for the initiation? Jennifer smiles.
Oh, I'm not as old as all that.
Apparently older than everybody else, though? Arlen blushes at her blunder. Uh-oh. Oh, cute.
Sorry, forgive me. It's not what I meant to say. But you're right. I never imagined either that one day I would become a shaman.
Really? But you seem to know so much. If you hadn't bandaged Brandon's leg, you wouldn't have been able to carry on with us.
Oh, that wasn't much. But you have a lot of questions, no?
It doesn't bother you. You're sure?
On the contrary, it makes the walk less tedious.
Well, if the wind would drop a little, though, it'd be easier to talk. The wind isn't just actually, like, rushing past them like crazy. It's basically a hurricane over here. They can barely hear each other speaking.
Oh, yes. Our ears will ache more than our legs if this keeps up. I'm listening. How can I try to enlighten you?
Alright, what are we going to ask Jennifer about? We can ask about the Seers, we can ask about her herself, or we can ask about the other members of the expedition. I don't know about that option, Arlen. Like, by extension, I don't know how well any of us know each other, so why would you know more? Like, if you want to know about other people, maybe you should just ask those other people about themselves? It would make sense to ask about the Seers, since it doesn't seem like Arlen knows that much. And Jennifer seems to be pretty knowledgeable. Although, then again, if we ask about Jennifer, then we can, know more about her. Jennifer is a stalker? Gossip is always fun. If you say so. I don't know about that one, but, alright, let's just go ahead and ask about the Seers then, huh? Alright, so, these children are really the Seers of the island?
Yes. The island is kind of a door into the world of the Seers, you could say. In reality, the Seers are everywhere around us in nature. The wind, the tides, even the storms and the flames. It's them that bring those about.
There you go, chat. Anytime you, like, take a lighter and you light, like, you flick that lighter on, you manually start a fire with just some sticks, maybe a couple of rocks. Thank the Seers for that. They're the ones doing that. That fire only happening because a Seer has been sitting nearby, waiting for you to attempt to create fire and going, boom, fire is done.
Here, the boundary between the two worlds is especially thin, so we can see them. We receive the sacred flame, we will be linked to them with their magic. According to the legends, the Seers that we see on this island are the guardians who will only allow those worthy to reach the flame.
Thanks for lighting my pipe, you say, flicking on a match or using your lighter to light it. Thank you, Seers, for lighting up this weed that I've got in my hand, you say, flicking on that match and lighting it up, taking a big old puff.
Guardians? Yeah, they don't seem very ferocious. Oh, don't trust their appearance. You do well to think of them with the fear and deference that they deserve.
They scare me or they inspire my trust. I look up at the little tiny children with big antlers. They inspire my trust? Okay, chat, if you say so. Imagine seeing small children with giant horns on their heads. That seems like that would terrify me, right? You see them and they just run up at you, headbutting you with their antlers, and here now you are pierced through the way. But okay, they inspire my trust.
I couldn't tell you why, but they inspire my trust. I think they know what they're doing. We can't compare them to ourselves. They must see the world very differently to how we do. Try putting yourself in their place. What would you do if strangers came to your home and started eating your provisions?
Arlen laughs.
And yet, they need us, and we need them. Oh, yes? Why would they need us? They need shamans to guide men so that the balance of nature is kept in our world.
Uh-oh. I don't think we have very many shamans anymore. I think we might have fucked up the balance of our world. We become their ambassadors with our people if they judge us worthy of the task.
Huh. I hadn't seen it that way.
I mean, when was the last time you saw a shaman? It's true.
And us, we need their magic and their wisdom.
Ha! The Seers control us, or it's a win-win situation. They gain a little bit, we gain a little bit. That definitely sounds like it's the case. Sounds like they'd be a little bit fucked over if we weren't around to help them out. One feels a little bit paranoid. Yeah, especially if I had responded with, they scare me earlier, I'd be like real paranoid of them.
Huh. Seems like a fair deal to me. Everybody wins.
I don't know.
But if we reach the end of our trials, maybe we'll understand their aims better. I know that we have to undergo trials to reach the summit of the island, but no one seems to really know what's waiting for us.
I don't know much either.
The shamans who have survived the initiation don't speak of what happened on the island.
That non-disclosure agreement.
But if a shaman chooses you as their successor, they should prepare you the best that they can. Seems a bit strange that they don't share their experiences on the island with their disciple, don't you think?
What if they had their memories wiped? That's another possibility, I guess.
We haven't had a mentor, you and I. But if you ask Freya or Duncan, for example, they'll tell you that their mentor prepared them for the trial. Without telling them what awaits them, really?
Jennifer thinks.
I can see two possible reasons. Either explaining the substance of the trials won't be of any help in succeeding, or it's taboo, and maybe the Seers have forbidden them to speak of it.
That definitely is how it's seeming. There's something that's preventing them from being able to talk about it. That could be the price for the Seer powers. That's true. They have to sign that non-disclosure agreement, and that also locks in their powers. Hello there, Boone, and welcome to the stream, by the way. What if it was like, you know, the wild thornberries? Wasn't that the agreement that the girl had? Something like that? She couldn't tell anyone that she could talk to animals, or else she would lose all of her animal-speaking abilities. It could be the same case here. They all have to agree not to talk about what's happening on the island. Otherwise, it's just like, poof! There goes all of their magical abilities.
I imagine that the trials will be different for each of us.
Oh? What makes you say that?
Well, for example, look at Connor and Eric. What constitutes a trial for Connor would be a trifle for Eric, and vice versa.
Imagine one of the trials is having to fight some sort of a monster. Connor, wimpy baby, instantly getting sawed in half. Eric, however, taking out the monster without a problem at all. Jennifer, big brain, yeah. We're gonna end up like having to split into little groups or something to face these trials. I don't know what's gonna happen.
In any case, we'll know soon enough.
Something else? More questions? Oh my god. Well, alright. I don't know if we're going to be, since we were able to pick that first option and now we can ask about the other two. I don't know if that means we're going to be going through all of the options or if we only get one more choice. But alright, yeah. We'll just go ahead and pick the first option then. We'll ask about Jennifer.
You said you hadn't planned to become shaman.
No, that's right.
I've only been preparing my initiation for 2 years.
Oh? And what made you come to the island? The shadow of a buried pain flits across Jennifer's face. Uh-oh. We're prying into a history maybe she doesn't want to talk about too much. Well, you could say that a curse devastated my village. Uh-oh. Everything went from bad to worse, and I felt powerless. So she's like, give me the fucking magic powers so that I can make everything good. No problem. I swore to myself that I would do what I could to never find myself in that situation again. I studied herbalism and the healing crafts, but then I realized healing magic wasn't enough. I needed the power of death. I soon knew that if I wanted to see it through, I had to complete my initiation. That's how I find myself here, with you. A little older, certainly, than most of the people who come to the island. Arlen would have liked to know more, but Jennifer doesn't seem to want to pursue the topic. Yeah. Maybe we'll ask about something else, or we could pry her for more information. Pry? Or should we change topics? You know, be respectful of her feelings. I want to pry? Well, doesn't seem like others are agreeing so much. Pry, uh-oh. We're gonna press her on the details then? We're not gonna let you hide away with what you know. We want to know more. Tell us, Jennifer. We want that detail. Something terrible must have happened for you to risk your life on the island. Jennifer hesitates to elaborate. Finally, she replies quickly, we're getting the information. Well, I had a farm in the uplands with my husband. Uh-oh. Oh, it wasn't much. A cabin and a small flock of sheep. 20 or so animals. We made cheeses. We sold them at the market. That year, we had a terrible winter. 2 years ago, there were squabbles with our shaman, and she left the village. Uh-oh. It began with the harvests, which were poor. We would have had enough to get by, but some of the granaries got wet and the stores rotted. Everything just... She said that things went from bad to worse. Everything going wrong at the same time, essentially. Everyone had to be rationed. Phrased like this, it made it sound like they started rationing the people themselves. They had to swap to cannibalism. I was put on the rationing docket. My husband was put on the rationing docket. I ate him. That's what happened. Long pork rations. Exactly. Then, a fever fell on the village. Holy shit, is this what happens when you don't have a shaman? Just absolutely everything goes to shit? Many died. Jennifer breaks off. That means her husband died too. Arlen has the feeling that she hasn't told her everything, but hasn't the heart to ask more. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit obvious the outcome of this situation. No shaman, no life. Do you mind if we talk about something else? Which means that, I guess, look, we could just bail and not even ask. She's single? Oh my god. Please, calm down. Imagine her commenting on the fact that she has a husband and commenting on, like, all of the death that just wreaked havoc on her village, and you're like, dateable now. Hell. Okay, so we can't ask about the other people, or we can just continue along in silence after pushing her on that info, you know. Maybe a little bit awkward, no, but I guess it probably would be good to find out more about the other people, huh? Very well. We'll ask about the other people on the expedition. What do you think of our group? Our group? Well, frankly, they all suck and I hate them, she says, running ahead and ditching everybody. Well, how should I put it? Everyone seems nice enough in themselves. We don't know each other very well right now, so it's really hard to say that somebody in particular sucks. Jennifer seems to be looking for the right words, as to not accidentally insult anybody.
That said, I'm afraid that some of us aren't really ready for what awaits them.
Maybe like Brandon and Connor, perhaps.
It's clear that Brandon doesn't seem to really know why he's here. Yes, in fact, I'm a bit concerned that he's staying with us. But I wasn't thinking about him in particular.
You're thinking of Connor or Duncan? Well, seeing as Connor has been kind of a bitch, it seems like she would be referring to maybe Connor, whereas Duncan has been, like, taking very much of a leadership sort of a role. Yeah, I think probably thinking of Connor over there. What's Duncan's deal? I don't know. Duncan is the guy who's been kind of taking charge. Maybe she's like,
he keeps taking charge, but he doesn't seem very knowledgeable about what happened.
So perhaps that's the case. So it has been a little bit between the two of them. Connor does seem a little bit more of a, maybe not taking this too seriously.
You're thinking of Connor? It's true, he's from the city and doesn't know our customs.
What exactly is qualifying as the city, I wonder? Duncan cockblocked her, that's true. That's true.
Well, I actually suspect that Connor may surprise us all. I think that that boy is a lot more resourceful than he wants us to know.
In that case, I don't see Freya and Eric come from the north. I can't see them failing.
Well, to be honest, in fact, I was thinking of Eric.
Jennifer is like, he's acting a little bit tough and robust.
I think he's taking this too, like, lightheartedly, like he thinks he knows so much when in actuality he knows very little.
Eric?
But he seems to really know what he's doing. Yes, but he's eaten up by anger and thirst for revenge.
Oh.
It's a volatile mix.
Does Arlen think it's gonna be okay, or is she a little bit worried now? Eric is strong of purpose, but does he have the respect for nature and the spirits needed? That's the question, yeah. It seems like he's able to power on through no problem, but maybe isn't very respectful. Though on the other hand, Eric has made the comments about how the Seers are testing them and the like. Option 1, I trust the muscles. I like taking it on that course. Arlen's like, but he's so buff.
I don't know. I want to believe that everything will be fine. I hope I'm wrong, even if...
Jennifer breaks off, looking unsettled.
I'm sorry. I just had kind of a deja vu. I had a name on the tip of my tongue as if there was someone missing from the expedition.
What? What?
It's happened a few times since we arrived on the island. You haven't?
Arlen thinks.
No, I don't think so, but I felt like we were being watched since we set foot on the beach.
What if this entire time there's actually been more of us? But they're not being mentioned because we keep forgetting them? Do you remember Lawrence, chat? I remember Lawrence. He was there, but they haven't mentioned him at all since.
Of course, it might just be the Seers of the island. Yes, maybe.
Where did Dave go? I don't know. He was here earlier too, hanging out with Lawrence, and I haven't mentioned him at all either.
I noticed that you've passed some time with Freya.
Hell yeah, we have!
What do you think of her? I admit, I'm finding her hard to pin down.
Hello? I'm just straight picking this one. Orlin think Freya fucking rules. Hell yeah. She's lovely. I think she's someone reliable and trustworthy. Oh well, you seem to get on well, the two of you. Hell yeah, I even invited her back to my place. The two young women continue in silence. The sun has already begun its descent towards twilight. Jennifer pulls a pouch, made from a knotted rag, from her sack. She takes out a biscuit, which she offers to Arlen, and takes out another one for herself. Arlen accepts gratefully. She notices that the mineral scent of the ocean has lessened, despite the constant gusts. Far off, a forest can be seen, climbing along the foothills of the summit. She wonders if they will reach the outskirts before night. The trees will provide some shelter from the wind. Wow, look, Duncan is like way up ahead of everybody. At the head of the line, Duncan tries to keep up a fast pace with the far-off forest in his line of sight. He's like, I've got places to be. I need to finish the trials. Come on, let's get moving. Everybody, pick up the pace over there, please. There is no real path to show him exactly which route to take, but the heath is strewed with megaliths, which seem to mark the way. What if they're here to mislead us, though? He is not sure, but he thinks his uncle, Leith, had mentioned this in an errant moment one evening in Lugan's. I can't pronounce that, when Duncan had taken advantage of his inebriation to ask him about the island. The way weaves from standing stone to standing stone. Whether he's right or not, it seems to him much wiser to trust these markers, which perhaps guard them against invisible dangers, than to take the more distinct route towards the forest. In living memory, the island has always been wild, uninhabited, only visited from time to time by expeditions of novices come to seek the approval of the Seers to complete their magical initiation. Duncan reaches a megalith, which he passes on the left, as tradition dictates. On this one, if he squints, he can distinguish interlacing curves, half erased by the wind and rain. Yeah, you can see it there. Rock, fancy. Duncan supposes that these engravings must probably tell a story, or at least reveal more about the markers of this edifice. What if they were just there because they were pretty pictures? Imagine you were just a person and you painted on some pretty pictures and then everyone comes along and is like, ah yes, tells a serious story. Or the reverse, where you write a very serious story in this manner, but then everybody walks past your rock and it's just like, haha, look at the squiggles, it's so fun, and then they just keep walking. The legends do not tell of the Seers as builders, and even less as being able to or wanting to raise monuments in the kingdom of men. The only explanation could be that in times past, the island was inhabited by a permanent population, and a big one, considering the size of this work. Without mentioning that stair up the cliffside that Eric and Freya had found. What kind of catastrophe could have made the creators of the standing stones vanish? Behind him, he hears Freya call out,
Duncan!
He stops and turns. Freya jogs to catch him up. Eric is following close behind them, but they are well ahead of the rest of the group. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize we were leaving the others behind.
No, it's not that. Look!
Uh-oh. Oh, the children return! Freya points over to the right. Look, thankfully Freya's pointing, otherwise Duncan would have no idea where he should be looking and would have completely missed the two antler children. Also, technically, I think she's pointing more like towards the left. Like if you picture yourself standing here, pointing with her left hand, I'm pretty sure she's pointing to the left. A stone's throw away are two of the antlered children, one of them beckoning the group to come closer. Oh, yes, I see them. I think they're signaling us to follow them. Tour guides! Tour guides!
Yes, but then we'd have to leave the path of the cairns.
The cairns?
Yes, the megaliths. I noticed you were guiding the group from standing stone to standing stone. Did your mentor speak of them to you, too?
Not really. He mentioned them vaguely. It came back to me when I saw them. But it seemed logical to me to use them as landmarks to get to the forest.
Oh? Huh, I thought you knew.
Freya now is incredibly unimpressed by Duncan. She thought he was cool, had some knowledge, was taught about these things, and he's like, oh, no, I just looked and was like, wow, look at the big rock. And I started following them. And she's like, oh, -10 respect.
Gudrid, the shaman of my clan, warned me about the megaliths.
Meaning?
She told me that we must not deviate. I believe something happened to her expedition when they tried to leave the path.
Uh-oh. See, if we had fucking continued following Duncan, who was like, wow, look at the big rocks, everybody would have died. Thanks a lot, Duncan, for leading everybody to their doom. Duncan studies Freya. Oh, yes? Your mentor spoke to you about the island?
Of course not. You know that's forbidden, but occasionally, from time to time.
Some information would slip out? Yeah, that's why I knew about these. My mentor got a little bit drunk, and I found a little bit of information out of him because of it. Think it's the other way, as if they had left the rocks, they might be attacked for leaving the path? I don't know.
Exactly. They said if a seer asks us to follow him, surely it would be better to listen, don't you think?
Eric overtakes them without stop. Oh, great. All right, here comes Eric, Mr. Tough Guy. With his fucking smug-ass grin. Like, his goddamn face, I swear. Like, look at this asshole. Holy shit. I'm voting Eric most likely to die. Or at least on the list of people that, you know, who has to die first? I would put Eric up there. Hey, lovebirds, we're not here for dawdling. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, look how fucking tall he is, though. Holy shit, like, it looks like then Freya and Duncan, maybe he's a little bit taller than Freya, you know, perspective happening here, but otherwise, hello there, Eric, just towering above us both. Clearly the Tower of Muscles. Wait, Eric, did you see? Point. This time, it's Duncan who points towards the Seers. Thank goodness they know how to point, because again, otherwise, our person who just wandered up here would not have seen them. Yes, they are Seers. They've been waving at us for a while. Didn't you notice? Thanks, Eric. Fucking smug-ass bitch. You know, earlier on, I was like, wow, Eric is so cool. Look at him drag this boat up onto the beach with his raw strength. But now I don't know. Freya looks ruffled, as if her pride has been wounded. Uh-oh, yeah, because Freya pointed it out to Duncan. She's like, wow, check him out. And then in actuality, they had been standing there for several minutes.
I confess I was looking straight ahead. Oh, I was careless.
That would figure. Never mind. Only expected that a woman wouldn't make such a good tracker. Of course he would say that, too. Duncan wonders whether he should point out that it was Freya who had shown him the antlered children, but Eric doesn't allow him that much time. So, I'm on the side of fuck Eric. Whatever. We should follow the megaliths. The Seers are clearly trying to lead us astray. Freya, her voice like ice, enunciating each syllable, does not see things the same way.
No. I believe we should trust the Seers.
That means we're gonna have an option, chat. What are we going to do?
We should follow them.
Oh, see, look at this. Serious moment. Eric puts a menacing hand to his weapon. Duncan must settle this fast before the disagreement descends into a fist fight. Follow the Seers, follow the Cairns. I'm gonna say, we're gonna fuck Eric. Eric is the one saying follow the Cairns just to say fuck him. Horace is saying sorry, Freya. Shit, I don't know. Well, just to say fuck it to Eric over here, we're gonna go ahead and go with Freya, and we're gonna follow the Seers. Thank you. I think this is a bad idea. I don't care. Fuck Eric! Freya's right. If the Seers are signaling us to follow them, we should listen. We need to trust them. In the end, it's they who decide whether or not to give us the sacred flame. I hope our trust in the deers work. I mean, it could entirely be the case that that's part of the trial, and they're like, that you're supposed to stick to the path no matter what happens. But I mean, I just really don't want to follow Eric now. And hello there, the Great Hurt, and welcome to the stream. We need to trust them, yes. Alright. Excuse me? Oh, now he's getting angry. You can see his, like, eyebrows knitting here. He's got, like, a little bit of a frowny face now. The tradition says to follow the megaliths. So, we follow the megaliths. That's it. Fuck tradition! Fuck tradition! Duncan has played this scene 100 times with his big brothers at the castle. Eric is clearly stronger than him, but this time he decides no, he will not let himself be bullied. It's not you who decides. That's right, it's me, Duncan. Oh, but here comes Connor coming up from behind. Rise up, truly. We do what we want, without regards to Eric, and hello there, Mr. Chattington, and welcome to the stream also. What's going on? He looks amused, a faint smile on his lips. Look at these peasants, arguing with each other. We leave you alone for 2 minutes and... Oh my god, oh fuck. Eric turns sharply and knocks Connor to the ground with the back of his hand. He's infuriated. Already, Duncan not listening to them, and so he just smacks Eric right off. Holy shit. Hey, you stay out of it. It's not some city boy who's going to give me lessons. Oh my, Connor looks terrified. Jennifer and Arlen joined the group running. Here they were from a distance, and suddenly they see a fight breaking out. Brandon speeds up, despite his wound, to catch up with the group. The healer steps between Eric and Connor. No, that's enough. Are you trying to kill each other? Are you trying to kill each other? Jennifer, I think that might be a little bit, might be a little bit of an exaggeration when Eric has just slapped him, backhanded Connor. I don't think you're gonna kill somebody over that, so, lethal slaps. Connor, such a weak pansy, just is slapped by Eric, dying instantly. Connor is actually made of paper mache, basically just a piñata. What's the problem? We saw a seer signaling us to follow him. Duncan glances in the direction of the seers, who have vanished in the meantime. Freya suggested that we follow them. Eric wanted us to keep following the megaliths. And you, Duncan? What do you think? Well, I think we should follow the seers. Jennifer thinks. Just look at Eric. He could slap you to death. I mean, has there ever been any recorded deaths by slap? The three of you are the most seasoned guides. No one objects? I think I will follow the majority. Everyone agrees. Eric looks furious. Of course he would. Do what you want. I will follow the Cairns. Uh-oh. Eric is like, fuck, fine. You're gonna go off and follow the Seers? Fuck all y'all. I'm just gonna continue along the path. Eric turns on his heels and moves off without glancing behind. Alright, bye Eric. Bye. See ya. Bye. The group remains frozen, as if powerless to prevent the inevitable. As he walks along the path eats him. Blind faith in the rocks, surprise. As we made comment earlier about how the entire island is a mimic, one of those rocks that he's walking along is actually a mimic and devours him the second he stakes foot upon the stone. Jennifer is the first to react. Wait! Eric turns. Jennifer joins him at a jog. Duncan is too far away to hear what they are saying, especially with the wind against him. Oh, alright. Jennifer is going to go over there, give him a nice motherly talk, do a little bit of convincing, and bring him back to the rest of the group. Wait, we might lose our tank. Oh, shit. Things become more heated for a while, then finally Eric nods his head and they return to the group. No one has the nerve to make any comment. And there we go. Thank you, Jennifer, bringing him back. Quote unquote, thanks, Jennifer. Maybe we should have just let him continue along alone, you know? Eric says in a trenchant voice, fine. But if something happens, don't say I didn't warn you. Now, if anything happens as we follow along after the Seers, Eric is going to give us so much shit. This is what happens when you listen to a woman, he'll complain. The group gets moving again. Duncan and Connor return to the head of the convoy, guiding the rest of the expedition towards where they had seen the Seers earlier. The wind finally drops, and they progress more easily. Near the back, Eric mutters something about this, probably harping on that he had a bad feeling about it. In the distance, on their left, there is a circle of standing stones, right over there. Duncan peers at it, disappointed not to pass closer to the edifice to examine it in more detail. What's that? It's a cromlech, a stone circle. Our ancestors used them like a calendar for tracking the positions of the stars, the moon, and the sun. Every time it shows Connor, he does have just such a long head versus everybody else. It's like when they zoomed out on Eric and you saw how much of a fucking giant he was. Every time it comes over to Connor, it's just like long head. Dude is a pencil. Maybe that's how... And the fact he's got red head, it's like the fucking eraser on the pencil even. Oh my god, there we go. Connor is the pencil man. Oh my god. Duncan indicates a dolmen, which they can see from afar, in the circumference of the circle. You see that? There's the east door. It's placed in such a way that the sun rises in its frame on the day of Litha when we watch from the center of the circle. Fucking hell, now I'm gonna just keep thinking of pencil. Jesus. And hello there, GB, and welcome to the stream also. That's a lot of work for a simple sundial, isn't it? Duncan scowls. No, it isn't a simple sundial. Fuck you, Connor! Relegating it to such insignificance. This is a ceremonial edifice which allows us to be in harmony with nature and the entire universe during the ceremonies. I suppose you lot in the city, you prefer to shut yourselves up in temples, nice and warm, well protected from the sun. The two entered a heated debate as they continue their walk. Holy shit. That's right, don't listen to Connor, he's literally a pencil. You do the telling to the pencil does not tell you what to do. And have I lit myself on fire yet? No, not yet. I haven't gained any sort of magical abilities, and I have not come across anyone. Well, I have no idea what sort of magical abilities the Seers might have. Technically, if they have magical abilities, I have been across them, but otherwise, no fires. Pencil Man stares at Duncan from behind. After a while, Connor looks up and notices that the forest seems further away than it was the last time he looked. A little further along the right, there is a stone circle. Duncan is delivering a long diatribe on the supposed superiority of polytheism when he realizes that Connor has stopped listening. Duncan is just over here, let me tell you about religion. Connor's like, wow, really? Yep, oh, wow, I care about that a lot. Oh, yes, that has a lot of merit and hasn't been paying any attention at all. Hey, you're not listening. Didn't we pass the stone circle on the left a little while ago? But I could have sworn we were moving away from. How is that possible? I don't know. I thought we were going in a straight line. Me too. Uh-oh. The sun hasn't got itself lost, though. Yes, we should make camp. Pity. I really hope to reach the forest before nightfall. We're all tired. What with the crossing, the storm, and the walk. Maybe the deers are sirens who try to lure people away? Well, shit. That could have been the case, it's true. Things will be clearer in the morning. Maybe. Alright, night has fallen on them. The heath not providing a glut of dry wood, Arlen and Duncan have made a modest fire on the side of another, older campfire. Probably the remains of the previous expedition. Connor stretches his tired legs. It's the first time he truly sleeps beneath the stars. Of course, he has slept under porches, or in alleys, before the temple took him in. Oh, so everyone's always commenting about how Connor is such a city boy, but it turns out that maybe Connor was actually living on the streets in the city? But never like this, with a star-filled sky, like a jewel-encrusted orb, stretching from one end of the horizon to the other. Still technically a city boy. True. The rest of the group seems just as weary, munching silently on the loaf of bread and cheese they have shared out. The provisions that they have brought along will not hold for long. They will have to find sustenance on the island quickly. Did they not even bring enough food to plan to, get back home after landing here? Did they, sail over with just enough food and we're like, yep, alright, we'll collect some additional food when we arrive at the island, collect some up there, and take that for our journey home, rather than bringing enough along for the entirety of the trip. Though I guess since we did have a little bit of trouble landing here, I guess we could have just lost some of the food too. One-way shaman trip. I hope they'd have better planning than that. We'll get food at the B&B, one of them that had suggested, telling them that they didn't need to bring that much food along, it would just weigh them down. Arlen has finished her meal, and she pulls out a small wooden flute from her bag. Look at that! We're being serenaded now. The other members of the expedition, who are conversing in low voices or eating in silence, stop what they are doing to listen to the melancholic air which emerges from the instrument. The melody is childlike, innocent, and Connor thinks it must be a lullaby or a nursery rhyme. They listen to her start playing, and they're all silently like, isn't this a song for children? Rude. He has never heard anything like it before. The music of the temple is thunderous and righteous. As for the dances that could be heard in the city taverns, they definitely didn't have the gentle, nostalgic tonality of the lament that comes from Arlen's flute. Arlen closes her eyes as she plays, as if possessed by a state of spiritual reverie. As the last note of the melody floats into the night, Arlen realizes that everyone is watching her in silence. Uh-oh, she's getting stage fright now. She blushes. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt your conversations. Arlen, get back to the music. Brandon gives her a curious look. It's amazing. We come from the same region, and yet I don't know that song. I thought I knew every song in existence, and yet here you are, playing something I haven't heard before. Where did you learn it? Oh my god, he does have like a mullet. Jesus. Brandon. Mullet man. Viking mullet.
My father taught it to me. Oh, he comes from the south. It's natural that you wouldn't know the tune. When he's away on the road, I play it for my brothers and sisters.
Is Brandon gonna compliment her? Or is he just gonna stay quiet? I think ungulates who are like sirens are kelpies. I think sirens and kelpies are fairly similar. They both lure unsuspecting victims into the water, certainly. Make everyone in the group take swings at everybody. Just everybody is going to be best friends in the end, thanks to us. With that mullet, how could he not flirt? That is a completely fair point. We compliment Arlen, the mullet, demanding the flirtations. Hang on. Were we complimenting him or her on the side of Connor? Connor with the simple voice that we've given him? Fitting. Well, in any case, you play very well. You're just as good as the troubadours in the capital. Arlen gives a hint of an embarrassed smile. Thank you. Chaotic romance. Jennifer smiles. Can you play another? Your flute has such a calming sound, and it helps me to think. After everything that's happened today, I need to organize my thoughts. There's something... Jennifer turns to the group. They all look so evil in the bonfire light. I feel like that's always what happens if you've got, like, it's very dark out and you've got some bright light cast up onto your face. Gives a very sinister look. I don't know, but I have the sensation of having a word on the tip of my tongue without being able to find it. Some agree. Others look at Jennifer with surprise. Eric over here. I think he's just pretending to sleep. Eric lies down, turning his back on the fires, crumbling that it would be better to gather their strength, that it won't stop him from sleeping, but still. 100% pretending. He starts even pretending to snore over here and is like, shh, shh, I'm asleep, I swear. Arlen resumes playing. Connor listens with a distracted ear before noticing that Jennifer is staring at the flames with a strange intensity. She's channeling her fire powers. For a long while, the group allow themselves to be lulled by the enthralling and mysterious notes of Arlen's flute. Then, she opens her eyes and stops playing. Jennifer continues to stare into the fire, which has inexplicably become fiercer. She's pushing the fires towards Eric. Uh-oh. She turns her eyes towards the darkness, towards the emptiness of the heathland. Then she turns to Duncan.
Be cautious of the whispers in the night.
Uh-oh. Did she get like a vision or something in the fire?
Are you sure you are a master of your choices?
Duncan doesn't know how to react. Uh-oh. Chat. I think she's reading that we've been kind of pushing them towards certain decisions. She's prophesying. I think she might be getting a hint about us out here. Uh-oh. It looks like we're gonna curse Duncan. It does look like we're casting a curse on Duncan here. Like, look at his eyes. Going a little bit blank, we're casting a curse. Jennifer, are you alright? Oh, Jesus. Jennifer stares into the night.
You are not worthy of the flame.
The
knot may tie and untie. You will change nothing. Accept your destiny and let us leave.
Connor takes Jennifer by the arm and shakes her gently. Jennifer?
She's a hex girl, and she's gonna put a spell on him.
That's what it is! Oh no. She's already becoming one with the spirits! She seems confused for a moment, then she smiles. Yes? Who are you talking to?
Me? To no one. I was just listening to Arlen. Thank you, Arlen. That was wonderful.
It's true. The fire, it does make everyone seem a lot more sinister. You don't remember? Jennifer's astonishment yields to concern.
Don't remember what?
Connor turns to the others, hoping that someone knows what to do. The others look as lost as him. Alright, well, are we gonna insist or are we gonna reassure Jennifer? She, seemed to have been possessed for a little bit. Everything's fine, Jennifer. Nothing happened. You weren't possessed for a hot minute at all. We reassure her. It's nothing. You just blanked out for a moment, I guess.
It must be a strain.
Weren't we talking to Duncan? We were grabbing his arm and telling him he's fucked and he's not destined to be a shaman. Anyway, we're all tired. We'd better go get some rest.
Yes, you're right. It's not very sensible to stay up.
Jennifer lies down by the fire and closes her eyes. The others do the same. Connor contemplates the flames for a moment. A strange world, peopled with seers, cairns, and sea monsters, is a long way from the daily life of the temple. The wild expanses of the island almost frighten him after so many years cloistered in his cell, the days punctuated by the inexorable ringing of the temple bells. Uh-oh. Duncan left to the same place as Dave. And Lawrence. And Michelle. And Abigail. And I just start listing off names, none of which anyone remembers. Does he truly have a mission to accomplish? A vital role to strengthen the supremacy of the temple? Or was he simply sent here because the secular authorities didn't know what to do with him? Connor shrugs to himself. Then he curls up close to the fire, trying, like the others, to get some sleep. Oh my god. I watched the flames become embers. Alright, I guess, see, here we are swapping back over. This is me, chat, I guess? Cause it says I watched the flames become embers. Me! I hid to avoid encountering the seers who roamed the heath in the small hours of the night. I am not ready yet. No, Boone, that isn't you, that's me. Stop it. When they drew near the expedition, taking advantage of their human torpor, I returned to the beach of the whales. No, it's not you either, Horace. Stop. Go away. This is my game. It's all of us. No, it's just me, alright? Stop trying to be the cool antler girl. I'm the cool antler girl. Our game? No. I take the game away. It's my game. Stop it. I push you over. I get to play it and I make the choices. Just because you're giving me input doesn't make it your game. Stupid. Power gaming. That's right. When it's your game, you get a power game all you want. And since the game is mine, I'm the one that gets to power game. Can I at least be the Rock? Fine, you can be the Rock. When they drew near the expedition, taking advantage of their human torpor, I returned to the beach of whales. Here, in the confines of my domain, I am almost transparent, light, like a sylph, stripped of its wings. But the moon's reflection on the ocean waves, the salt fragrant air, so vivid in my memory, act on my weariness like a promise of renewed freedom. I think this is Dave. Maybe? But then what about everybody else? When I am sure that the seers have finished their inspection of the flesh, I return to the heath to watch over my potential saviors. Uh-oh. Jennifer is missing. Uh-oh. The seers must have seized her and separated her from the group. The seers took her away. Is it because they were like, all right, Jennifer, you can't be part of these fools anymore. We're gonna take you to start your initiation. Or are they taking her away because they're like, everybody else is good? You, however, Jennifer, you suck. You're not allowed to be with everybody else anymore. The rocks were right all along. I don't know. The stones wouldn't have taken anyone. Are you sure about that? Far away, in the burnished gloom which precedes the sunrise, I glimpse her heading towards the stone circle. Oh, see, Jennifer's right there. It's fine. Oh my goodness. Lots of choices here. Who are we going to wake up? We can wake up Duncan, Arlen, Connor, or Freya. Make sure you do the right number also. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Duncan is alive. Yeah, it seems like Duncan didn't just totally die out when Jennifer was giving him weird prophecies. Lots of deliberation. At the very least, nobody's like, yeah, let's wake up Duncan. Nobody cares about Duncan. Goodbye, Duncan. And, Twitchy, excuse me, 5 isn't an option. Why are you voting for 5? I can't pick that one. So you swapped it to 2 to Arlen. We have known, it seems like so far, and then you can't vote for 8, and exclamation point A is certainly not going to yield anything at all. That isn't even the right letter. B? -5? Those aren't choices. How are you supposed to properly contribute here if you can't even type properly? Can't believe I'm gonna have to ban Twitchy and Boone. I know. They're not cooperating with the game options. Fucking troublemakers, I think. Everybody I see over here voting for Arlen, do you hate Freya and Connor now, chat? Very well. We'll wake up Arlen. We're gonna break this game by oh no. Uh-oh, don't worry, we've got censored with child. Night and salt fill Arlen's dream. She is at the mercy of an indistinct sea of faces, her brow beaded with icy sweat. With a ghostly caress, I command her to leave the darkness of within, to surface from the subterranean realm. That was rather an interesting transition that it made there. She opens her eyes in panic. The other members of the group slumber on. She realizes that Jennifer is gone without taking her possessions. I guess it makes sense also to wake up Arlen if we're having Arlen go after Jennifer, seeing as they have talked the most so far. Did we give her a nightmare to wake her? Potentially, that could be it. She pauses, wanting to wake the others, but her intuition tells her that that time is running out. That maybe it is already too late. Uh-oh. She rises and runs towards the cromlech. I follow her, forgetting my prudence. As we approach the cromlech, the air seems charged with the smell of thunder. Arlen can almost taste the metallic aroma of lightning. Oh my god. Jennifer is at the Jennifer is at the center of the circle, heading towards the strange children who come to meet her from the other side. It is too late. What must pass will pass. Arlen is at the edge of the cromlech. After an instant of hesitation, she crosses the boundary and runs towards the young woman. Jennifer has reached the children. She stretches a hand towards them. There is a bright flash, then emptiness. Jennifer and the Seers have vanished. Well, shit. I don't know if that's good or bad. Or is she being taken away to be properly tested? Initiated? Or, like mentioned at the very beginning, how viewing medias takes away your life force? Those Seer children took away hers. Arlen feels a presence behind her. Look, see? That's me! There I am. It's me, the fancy horn lady. Not you, chat, but me. No, not you. Stop it. Me. Not you. My presence. See, my presence. Thank you. She turns. She sees me. And me. Rock. That's right. Hang on. Let's give a nice zoom in right over here. You see this? That was Twitchy right over there. During this fraction of a second, when time seems to stand still, everything is clear. Lucid. She opens her mouth to say something, but the wave of magic has broken on the boundaries of the Cromlech and ends towards the source, taking with it the insight of what is, of what has been, of what will be. Ugh, dang it, I'm invisible again! How am I supposed to properly communicate when I can't even be seen? God dang it. Arlen stays there for a long moment, trying to remember. Now she's gonna have completely forgotten about me? Well, shit. Then she returns to the others, a weight on her heart. Hang on, is everybody gonna have also forgotten about Jennifer? We're gonna get back and be like, well, looks like everybody's here. Then we move along. Oh, fuck! And we also have Brandon, who had that injured leg, and Jennifer, who was helping him out. She's no longer here to help his leg. Is Brandon gonna be okay? Freya is woken by a hand on her shoulder. She opens her eyes, disoriented. She stays a few moments in the in-between state, between waking and sleep. Images of icy blue eyes, brown hair, deer antlers dance before her eyes.
Remembering me? Yes.
Duncan is crouching next to her, looking worried.
What's the matter?
It's Jennifer. She's vanished. Okay, so they have not forgotten about it. Are we Leon? No, Connor over there is Leon. Mr. Pencilhead. Freya is now wide awake.
Jennifer? What happened?
The group is bustling. Everyone is packing their possessions while Arlen disperses the remnants of the fire. Freya is rather ashamed that all the commotion hadn't woken her. Duncan brings her up to date with the events of the night. Jennifer's disappearance, the Seers, the young woman that Arlen glimpsed in the Cromlech. Did she fall asleep while Arlen was like playing her flute and she totally didn't get to witness any of what had happened? Yep, alright. I told you we couldn't trust the Seers. I'm sure they'll do everything they can to split us up and make us vanish, one after the other.
Ugh, I'm sure you're right. I don't know what to think of what I saw last night. Jennifer, she seemed hypnotized by the Seers.
For an instant, rage glows in Arlen's eyes. If the Seers were truly there to guide us, they wouldn't have taken one of us like that, without explanation. Connor looks nervous, wrapped in doubt. Whatever the case, we must continue. I don't think it's any use to wait for Jennifer to come back. Arlen points at the bag that Jennifer has left behind.
What do we do with her things?
I think we should at least share out the supplies. Hey, now we get her stuff, though. Arlen nods and begins to empty Jennifer's bag, silently thinking about how she totally is gonna get the good stuff, being the one to dole it out. They each come forward in turn to take the cloths containing dry fruits, bread, or dried meat. Dibs on the meat. At the bottom of the bag, Arlen finds a bone comb, a firestone, then hesitates before withdrawing a rag doll.
Jennifer had children? We talked together yesterday, during the walk. She didn't speak of children, but she is married. She spoke of a plague which struck down her village.
She didn't only have a husband. Oh yeah, sure, just share all of her secrets.
Well, she's gone now, isn't she? Maybe she kept this doll as a memento?
Perhaps. Or maybe her daughter asked her to take it with her as a lucky charm. My little sister wanted me to take a little wooden horse, her favorite toy, when I left my village.
Eric shows signs of impatience, of course. Well, we've shared out the supplies. Should get moving again. Connor is about to make a remark, but changes his mind. Yet, Connor, it's not worth it. Eric doesn't care.
Alright, but what do we do with the other things?
Well, are we gonna take it, or are we gonna ditch it? My doll now? I think it's my doll now. I'll agree, yes. She's gone. Guess what? More shit for us. Oh yeah.
I'll take her things.
Why would we ever leave it? Fair point. Why have less stuff when you can have more?
You never know. If we ever find Jennifer, she'll be happy that we kept them. If she brought this doll with her, it must be important to her.
Are you sure?
I don't mind taking it with me.
I feel like it makes more sense for Arlen to take it. Thing is, it seems like she's getting along and knows Jennifer better than Freya has. Freya barely having spoken to Jennifer. Arlen having talked quite a bit. Yeah, we'll go ahead and let Arlen take the doll. There you go, Arlen.
If you want. And if you prefer to take it with you, I don't mind.
Plus, maybe this is initiating some additional conversation between Arlen and Freya. Arlen nods and puts Jennifer's few belongings in her pouch. The group finishes gathering its belongings and gets underway. Freya glances behind her, to the cromlech. In the space of an instant, she glimpses something, like a silhouette disappearing behind the stones. Seer, no, it's me, the dear lady again. She shrugs, then hurries to catch up to the end of the line. And here we are, Chapter 3. Oaks. I'm seeing swords. I'm seeing arrows. There's a shield. Are we gonna have a battle in this chapter? We're gonna be violence. There's quite a bit of game left. Yeah, it seems like the game is a decent amount longer than I was expecting it was going to be. So we continue along. How long will it take us to complete the game? Who knows? But if I do have to end and we haven't finished, we will continue it next week. We are the deers. Do we have to eat them?
I guess we'll find out now, won't we?
And so, the outskirts of the forest, which seemed so unattainable the night before, are much closer. I watch them penetrate the ancient oaks under a dense canopy of twisted branches and knotted roots. The cover of the trees allows me to approach the group and reduces the risk of finding myself face to face with one of the guardian Seers. The Sylvan Seers are not a danger to me. They are too busy with their search for the sun and the morning dew. Once again, Duncan has taken the head of the convoy, but he seems preoccupied. He's probably feeling a little bit guilty for choosing to follow after the Seers now that Jennifer's been taken. He was like, you know, I think we're going to go ahead and follow after the Seers rather than follow along the path. And now Jennifer's been taken and he's like, shit, I made the wrong choice. Fuck. Rip Duncan. He lets the others overtake and waits for Arlen to join him. Did you keep Jennifer's doll?
Yes, I didn't have the heart to leave it. I've got brothers and sisters. I know how important this kind of thing is to a child. Didn't you have a favorite toy when you were little?
I didn't have a chance to be a child. From the very moment I was born as baby, they put sword and shield in hand. and I had to leave from the very moment I exited the womb. I was never a child. Duncan's face hardens. No. My family doesn't tolerate that kind of weakness, even in children. I lost my childhood. No, Chainsaw, you can't lose what you never had. Arlen seems astonished. Duncan changes the subject. Do you think Jennifer lost a child, or do you think Jennifer has a child waiting for her at home? Gonna be on the hopeful side, say, yeah, the child's okay. She definitely still has a child, and nothing bad happened to him. Alright, we'll opt for that, and hello there, plastic bottle, and welcome to the stream. Do you think Jennifer has a child waiting for her at home?
I don't know if we should hope that's the case. Seeing what happened to Jennifer, her disappearance. Maybe it's better that no one was waiting for her to come back. And she told me that a fever had struck down her village.
Brandon, what? Were you listening in on the conversation too, I guess?
A fever? I know Jennifer's village. It's not far from my home.
Arlen and Duncan turn towards Brandon, who has come near and is listening intently. Alright, time for some more gossip, let's go.
We traded with them. The village of shepherds in the Highlands. About 2 years ago, if I remember right, there was an epidemic. Our burgomaster assembled everyone in the marketplace to warn us. Apparently, a plague had carried off virtually all their village.
Oh. Yeah, sounds like that maybe Jennifer's, maybe her entire family all perished?
Since then, it's become a ghost village. No one goes up there from my home.
What if Jennifer, the entire time, was actually never alive either? She was actually a ghost lady that's been coming along with us as sort of like a ghost tour guide. So the Seers, detecting this, removed her from our group. And hello there, Juices, and welcome to the stream.
If Jennifer had a little girl, she's dead.
Maybe her kid is okay. Their voices full of hope. Then, as if on cue, Brandon swoops in.
They're all dead, dude.
Hill.
Now I understand. Yes. I think that must have been what happened.
Brendan's leg doesn't seem to pain him anymore, fortunately, and he keeps up with the others much more easily than the day before. Arlen notices this.
How's your wound?
Brendan smiles.
See? I'm prancing like a deer.
He says, hopping around all over the place, tripping over a rock and re-injuring his leg, you fool.
It's thanks to Jennifer that I can continue with you. I'm so sorry the Seers took her.
I wonder then if we could have made choices we're gonna be able to make choices the entire path through to the end of the game here. Hang on, there's 7 chapters, right? What if every chapter there's an opportunity to lose one of the members of our group? At the very beginning, had we chose to go up that rock staircase, we would have lost Brandon. Had we have chosen the other path, we would not have lost Jennifer. So now, in this chapter of the story, we're going to end up having another option that's either going to make us lose another person or keep another person? I don't know. Having a party of 1 by the end. Yeah, that potential existing. I could see it, which means we at least got one person who will make it to the end. True! Brandon is now going to be guaranteed to make it to the end of the journey. We saved him. And I'm stunned that she didn't make it to the end of the trial.
Yes. Of all of us, I was convinced that she was the one who was most likely to pass the trials.
You were in the Cromlech when she disappeared.
I don't know what to think about that. I tried to call her, but it was as though she didn't hear me. It was as if the Seers had bewitched her. And then there was the appearance of that strange girl with the antlers.
Me.
It was as if I knew her.
Of course. I know everybody.
Although I'm convinced that I've never seen her before.
Like having a word on the tip of your tongue.
Exactly.
But, yes, me too. I've had this sensation. There's also the possibility that you'll get new party members, right? I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna gain anybody new or not. When you spoke of it this morning, it was a bit like a dream which you remember perfectly on waking, and which becomes hazier and hazier when you try to recall it more precisely. Oh, an argument at the front of the line interrupts their conversation. Place your bets, chat. Who thinks that Eric is part of this argument? This conversation? I think Eric is gonna be part of an argument that's happening now. Eric being a dick again? Probably. There is a cry. Arlen, yeah. Arlen hisses Eric between her teeth. She and Duncan exchange looks and hurry to join the others. Fucking hell, where's the option that makes us lose Eric as a member of the group? At the sharp bend in the path, which winds between the cairns, Duncan finds a small clearing. Connor is on the ground, shielding his face with his forearms. Yes, cut off my arms, do not cut my beautiful face! Eric is bent over him, sword in hand. Hey! Eric turns his attention to Duncan, looking furious. Connor takes advantage to crawl out of reach of the blade and get swiftly to his feet. Duncan! Connor points at Eric. He attacked me without reason! Eric is crimson. Yeah, sure. Then again, it's not too hard to believe. Eric over here seems, pretty quick to anger. Yeah, he's looking very serious over here. Without reason. Really? Alright, are we going to ask about what happened? Are we going to try to calm Eric down? Or are we going to try and reason with Connor? Yeah, I feel the same way. Probably finding out what's going on exactly is the way to go. Let's ask about what's going on. Ugh, what's happened now? It's this runt who... Connor leaps at the first chance to cut off Eric. A runt? Me? You see, Duncan, he won't stop insulting me. Eric turns to Duncan. You're so blind. All of you. Don't you see he's a temple spy? He's a traitor. Uh-oh. He has no right to tread the ground of this sacred place. Whoa. Things are getting intense here. Freya has entered the clearing and approaches Duncan.
Everyone is free to attempt the initiation. It's for the Seers to judge if he is worthy to receive the flame or not you, Eric.
Wait, Eric might be right on this. I mean, we were hearing a little bit of Connor thinking about his past,
At the temple, I guess the temple people could have been like, aha, we can use Connor to, like, find out some more information about the Seers without, like, actually telling Connor about it. You know, like when you send someone off on a mission and you're like, yes, totally go do thing A. When in actuality, you want thing B to happen. Eric throws a black look at Freya. Even you've let yourself be seduced by this heretic's pretty words. When I think that you'd almost convinced me that you were a true hunter, worthy of the northern clans, Freya. Eric spits on the ground. You're a bunch of fools. You really believe he's here for the initiation? He doesn't give a damn about our traditions. The temple sent him to destroy our magic, to impose their doctrine of the single god. Connor clears his throat.
Listen, Eric. I'm sorry about Jennifer, but...
Oh, Jesus Christ. Without warning, the warrior lets out a hoarse shout and charges at him. Connor dodges him, vaulting out of the way, but trips on a root and falls. Holy shit, Freya seizes her bow. Eric lifts his blade, determined to bring it down on Connor's head. Chopping off their eraser is his plan. Duncan, without a thought for his own safety, has just the time to intervene. He deflects the course of the weapon, but the force of the impact sends his shield flying. Connor gets up and backs off across the clearing. Orlin, coming upon the commotion, joins him. She refrains from intervening, knowing that she would only add fuel to the flame. Eric's rage has shifted to cold anger. The two men gauge each other. Giant, muscled mass of man, Eric. Cool guy, Duncan. I look again at their fucking height difference. Jesus. Every time they're gonna show Eric, like, standing next to anybody, it's just gonna be like, oh, fuck. I think Eric is like 32.
He's actually also a lot older than everybody else, just like Jennifer was.
Duncan holds the intimidating gaze of the mountain of muscle. See, even the game acknowledges it. The mountain of muscles. Look at this. My God.
5'11" and 6 foot. Yes, an accurate representation.
He knows that if he tries to force the issue, Eric will read his persistence as a challenge. From that perspective, Eric reminds me of Ruber. Oh no! I mean, Ruber was also a mountain of muscle now, wasn't he? But maybe Eric doesn't really intend to kill Connor? He wasn't such a dink. Eric would be perfect. Yeah, his appearance isn't quite enough to outweigh his personality, though. Maybe his and Freya's intervention has been enough to convince Eric to be tolerant? Duncan lets Eric pass. Or does Duncan defy Eric? What if Eric is standing on a stool to look more fierce? Every time we've actually seen Eric like this, he's actually been sneakily standing on something to give himself a nice little boost. I wanna trust him, but... I'd rather Connor dies than Duncan. True, what if he defies Eric and Eric ends up killing Duncan over it? What if we let Eric pass and Eric ends up killing someone later? Well, make your choices, chat, and we'll see which path we take. even right now. Well, we can also do it as sort of a roleplay type thought, see? Because earlier, when Duncan essentially defied Eric and was like, you know, Eric, maybe we should listen to what Freya says and follow the seer. And we ended up resulting in losing Jennifer, basically as a result. So maybe now Duncan is feeling a little bit especially intimidated by Eric. Here, when he didn't listen to Eric before, he lost Jennifer. If he defies Eric again, is that really a great position? So I'm gonna agree here and say we should probably let Eric pass. Duncan probably feeling guilt from the past. And hello there, Fitzlurk, and welcome to the stream. Uh-oh, am I over here like, wait, no, you need to defy him? Duncan hesitates for a moment. I try with all my power to impose my will on him. But this time, he does not permit it. Has that been the case this entire time, actually? Whenever it's given me options down here, that's actually me, foreign lady, imposing my will and steering their choices? So here, I was trying to be like, Duncan, just let him pass. Duncan's defying me, and is going to defy Eric. He pushes me from his mind and plants his feet more firmly. Duncan decides that he cannot take the risk of leaving Connor to the Northern Warriors' mercy. Horny lady. My god. He is determined to fight. It's overriding our choice, chat. We told him to let him pass, but Duncan is saying no. Duncan, get out of my way. Duncan clenches his hand around the hilt of his sword. The two men eye each other. And then they make out. I mean, he knows that Eric has taken his decision. No matter what happens, blood will be spilled. Anything else would be a dishonor for him and his clan. Eric lets out a thunderous laugh. So be it. If you really want to lose your life for some scurrying temple louse, your choice. Freya, who had drawn her bow, seeing that the situation was changing into a single combat, lowers her weapon and waits for the conclusion. Was there any way we could have avoided this? Potentially, maybe, if we had listened to Eric at the previous area and not have lost Jennifer, maybe it would have turned out differently. I don't know. Duncan grits his teeth. He knows that he is not his adversary's equal, but he cannot turn back. Oh my, even their fucking swords, like Jesus Christ, look at Eric over here, giant blade, little baby wimpy blade by comparison. Eric over here, intense expression, look at him going, ah! Eric lifts his blade and sweeps it at Duncan's right side, trying a backhanded strike. Duncan counters the cut with his sword, but the impact is too powerful, and it slams him to the floor. Eric has an amused smile. He lets Duncan get up before striking him again. Oh Jesus, this time Duncan holds his own and retaliates, attacking with the point of his sword. Eric dodges with a sidestep. The two men slash at each other again and again. He does really look like Ruber here. Oh, fuck. Eric is not even out of breath, but Duncan is tiring fast. If I don't intervene, the outcome is clear. Eric will kill Duncan and then attack Connor. If Freya interferes, she will probably suffer the same fate. I must do something to avoid this bloodbath. I don't really want to force Freya to shoot, because I do feel it's the case that that might fuck things up. I feel like the help Duncan is probably, we're doing sort of a possession of Duncan, and we, or I should say, me, Antler Lady, am the one who's helping out Duncan. Power up Duncan anime style. As the references would be made to the anime, like the JoJo anime one, right? We are like, as they say, his stand. Am I correct in this? Indeed, let us assist Duncan. Oh my god. What do they say? Pathetic? Pathetic point of view right here? Chat's point of view. Me. I approach the fighters. Duncan is losing ground. He will not hold out much longer. Yeah, this is me about to bane somebody. Look out. A fierce strike makes him lose his balance. Eric lifts his blade skywards. If it falls, Duncan is finished. There is a moment of wavering. Duncan lowers his eyes, resigned. He knows there is an opening, but he cannot resolve himself to take Eric's life. Duncan. If I don't do something, he will allow himself to die rather than to kill. I have no choice. I cannot allow him this pointless sacrifice. Not now. Without hesitation, I seize Duncan's hand and plunge his sword into Eric's chest. Eric drops his sword, more in surprise than pain. The mountain of muscle lurches and falls to one knee. Duncan rolls out of his reach. The two men stare at each other. Eric seems unable to accept what is happening. Blood gushes from his chest. He lifts his eyes to the sky, searching, perhaps for a sign from the Seers. Then he collapses in the grass of the clearing. Arlen steps forward, carefully. Look at Duncan. He's like, I didn't mean to do that. I swear, I don't know what came over me. All his well-trained muscle defeated by a cheating ghost. I mean, it wasn't completely cheating, because Duncan could have done that completely of his own volition, but was choosing to just be killed rather than to kill. I just kind of, grabbed his hand a little bit, pointed it up, and went whoosh into Eric's chest. Well, as was said before about our tank, there he goes. Now would be a good time to have a medic. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Connor trails behind Arlen. Duncan sits, his eyes blank, his face haggard. He has a cut to his shoulder. Behind him, Eric's body is motionless. Arlen suppresses a shudder. On one hand, she perfectly understands how the situation could have escalated. She is accustomed to bullying as the stranger's daughter in a small fishing village. More than once, she has dreamt of answering the insults, condescending stares, the other injustices, but she has always resisted in fear of the repercussions her brothers and sisters would suffer. She crouches at Eric's side. I really hope Connor was worth protecting. He is motionless. No breath, no pulse. Arlen can do nothing for him. She turns to Duncan to see if he needs aid. She wishes that Jennifer were there,
And now Duncan is probably also going to be feeling especially guilty because Jennifer had gotten possessed, and in that possession was like, Duncan, you need to get the fuck out. You're not meant to be one of us, a shaman, whatever. You aren't meant to pass the initiation. Now Duncan is gonna probably feel some double guilt happening here. He is the result of both Eric and Jennifer essentially being eliminated from the trial, and he has been told himself that he is not meant to succeed. He has a gash on his shoulder, but it doesn't look deep. Connor finally speaks.
I'm sorry.
It was inevitable, or what happened? Yeah, I feel like we had asked for some explanation initially. We didn't really get too much information regarding that. Maybe now we can get some proper insight? Arlen turns to Connor, her face annoyed? But just what exactly happened? We let you out of our sight for 2 minutes and... Arlen lets out a long sigh.
Eric and I were at the front of the line. I didn't realize we were leaving you behind. He started picking a quarrel, and I'd done nothing to him.
Really? You're sure you did nothing to provoke him?
Of course I didn't. I'm not stupid. I saw how fast things could have gotten out of hand last night.
Duncan arises with difficulty. His muscles must be sore after the fight with Eric. Fine. So be it. That said, I think it's about time you explained what you're doing here.
What I'm doing here? Came to do my magical initiation, just like all of you.
His intentions don't matter, Duncan. It's the Seers who will judge.
Duncan lifts an eyebrow, astonished. You don't want to know why a guy who doesn't even revere the same gods as we do risks his life to become a shaman? Alright. Arlen is probably feeling some amount of sympathy here because it's sort of the same situation. Connor, sort of an outsider, maybe kind of being picked on because of his different situation. Kind of like Arlen when she joined her own village, picked on because she was different from everybody, so she's wanting to maybe intervene, but maybe it's a choice because she did also make the point of she didn't really want to stir things up too much, so she did kind of take the bullying from everybody. So I can see both cases kind of working along with it. I'm not answering because I don't know what's going on because I just got here. That's understandable. But hello there, the Lishy Popo, and welcome to the stream. But it looks like Arlen is going to really want to help stick up for Connor, but she knows from her past it's probably best to let him deal with it himself. Though at the same time, she did recall about Enid. I feel like I might opt against the course of what chat's voting for here. And I'm going to say she intervenes for Connor because she recalls how Enid always stood up for her, was on her side, and it always gave her a lot of confidence. So she's going to do the same for Connor. Arlen puts herself between Freya and Duncan.
I'm sure Connor has his reasons.
Duncan scowls. We still have the right to know what they are, don't we?
In that case, ask me the same question. I wasn't brought up from childhood to become a shaman, like you and Freya. I'm the daughter of a wandering entertainer.
Arlen feels a hand on her shoulder. Connor throws her a grateful look.
Duncan's right, Arlen.
Even though here we were at that boat, like,
hours earlier, days earlier, wherein we had called Connor over to help us with the boat, and he was like, I don't wanna. But now we're sticking up for him. Why do we even vote then?
For the most part, I will listen and go with what chat selects, but occasionally, I may break away and do what I want.
Our god, who I presume is a gigantic cat with the power to end worlds, must be honored. I don't know exactly what our gods are, so could be anything.
Duncan's right, Arlen. You do have the right to know why I'm here. I'll be frank with you. Yes, Temple did send me to spy on what happens on this island.
Duncan opens his mouth, but Connor hushes him with a wave of his hand.
But if I'm part of this expedition today, it's because they won't shed a single tear if, by any chance, I don't come back. I'm a street child. If the temple hadn't taken me in, like many other orphans, I'd have turned out no good. Or perhaps I'd have ended up getting myself killed by some other beggar, or by a hard winter. You've gotten to know me a bit by now. You must have realized I'm not cut out to be a priest, even less to be a temple guard. That's why, when they needed someone to send to this island,
They chose you?
All of the temple priest people casting their gaze over at Connor. Hey, that guy's kind of a useless fuck, huh?
Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment.
Let's send him off to spy.
Alright, what if he dies?
Who cares?
disposable. Right.
He's a temple assassin instead.
Oh. Because they didn't know what else to do with me.
Okay. Let's imagine you pass the initiation. What will you do with the knowledge and gifts which you will have received? Connor takes a deep breath.
Honestly, I don't know. But if I've understood correctly, the Seers will only let me take this sacred flame if I am worthy?
Exactly.
In that case, I suppose that if I'm worthy in the eyes of the Seers, it's because I'm not going to betray them. And on the contrary, if I'm not worthy, I won't be able to complete the ascent. Am I right?
It seems logical.
So, you have nothing to fear.
Duncan doesn't look convinced.
Well, whether we like it or not, Connor is part of our expedition. Instead of squabbling over who deserves to be here the most, we should take care of Barrick, don't you think? Yes, we must respect the rights. He died in combat. The least we can do is honor his memory. We should build him a funeral pyre.
What? That will take us forever.
Gods and magical beings are never fooled, right? Nope, definitely not.
Can't we bury him instead?
No. That's not the custom.
And how do you plan to dig a grave? You don't have the tools.
Look,
Oh. Hi there, Seers. Welcome to our little gathering. They are accompanied by a great heart with a pure white pelt. I guess this isn't a deer, but a heart? They look in my direction, but don't seem to want to challenge me. Uh-oh. That means they spotted me, dear lady. But they're not paying attention, or don't care at the moment. At least, yeah, for the moment. They surround Eric's body and kneel, with deep reverence. Arlen takes a step forward, about to speak to them. Brea catches her arm and tells her, with a look, to stay back. The Seers have loaded the body onto the back of the heart and are about to slip away between the trees. I could use Arlen to call them to account, or at least to demand an explanation, but that could put us, she and I, in danger. I'm not sure the risk is worth taking. Well, we can push Arlen to interact with the Seers, or we could let the Seers go, which by extension, which means me, dear lady, possessing her temporarily to push her. Leave the animal alone. Stop it, Horace. Not you. Me. You want to know what's up? Seems like some other people also wanting to know what's up.
Let's push for more information.
Arlen pulls her arm from Frey's grasp and runs towards the Seers before the others can hold her back. Hey! One of them approaches Arlen and signals her to stop.
Stop.
The strange voice emanating from behind the mask stops Arlen in her tracks.
It sounds like the tinkling of a bell, like the sound of the wind in the leaves, overlaid with an echo of an underground rumbling.
What do you want from us?
You speak in a voice that is not your own. I will not be held to account by this voice. This man should not have died. Not today.
The Seer turns on his heels and rejoins the procession, who is leaving the clearing, taking Eric's body with them. Soon they are swallowed up by the vegetation. The group finds itself alone again in the forest. It's Brandon who breaks the silence. I give up. We've been meddling a lot. Apparently, so it seems that we're helping out some people who weren't supposed to be helped out and injuring people who they didn't want injured. The Seers are mad, not too happy with us. I give up. They turn to look at him, shocked. What do you mean you give up? I'm going back to the beach to repair the boat. That's a good idea. Fuck you, Brandon, I say, pushing him over. Wimpy pansy baby, I kick sand in his face.
Or we be friendly and nice and we say, no, Brandon, we believe in you.
Come on. Everyone dies any percent speed run. Oh my god. We gotta kill everybody. Force him to continue. Truly, that's the real bully choice, right? You say, no, Brandon, we're not letting you leave. You have to come with us, stupid. Arlen moves closer and puts a hand on Brandon's shoulder.
You should continue with us.
Brandon sighs. No. I'm sorry, but I've taken my decision. I almost turned back already, after Jennifer. This time it's too much for me.
Will you manage to find your way back to the beach?
Yes, I think so. There's what, a day and a half? 2 days walk, maximum. If I follow the megaliths the other way, I should manage.
We'll give you provisions for the way back.
The group share the remaining supplies with Brandon.
There's enough left for this evening, but we'll need to hunt tomorrow.
Good thing we have you, Freya. Hunting master. Arlen smiles.
Poor fish. There must be streams. I bet I can catch a salmon or trout.
Brandon bursts out laughing. Oh, well, at least you have what you need to get meat or fish. Think of me when you're tucking in? I still have to get by for 2 more days on dry bread and fruit.
How will you cope when what you've given runs out?
Oh, don't worry. I know how to fish too.
I'll wait for you as long as I can on the beach.
Fuck. Now Brandon is gonna end up going down there, fixing the boat, get extremely cold feet, and leave early. And we're gonna just be coming down to the beach and see him taking off, and and he's gonna like call out to us and be like,
Sorry, I've already set sail. It's too late. Bye.
shit, we've got a mile time limit. Yep. Uh-oh.
The boat will be fit to take you back to the mainland. If you come back.
Well, I certainly plan to come back.
Waving and smiling from the boat as he sails away,
Pretty much.
Arlen, Freya, and Duncan agree silently.
Well, the day is already well underway. If I want to reach the beach by tomorrow evening, I mustn't dawdle.
Duncan holds out his hand to Brandon, who grips it.
Be careful.
Arlen has tears in her eyes. Aw. Overwhelmed with emotion, she wraps Brandon in her arms and hugs him tight. Brandon, shocked. He didn't expect to get a hug here. Oh. This is Act 3 of 7 and we've almost lost half our group. Yeah. I didn't make the comment that it seems like maybe every chapter is going to have the opportunity to lose one of the members of our group. She really doesn't like partings.
Hey, gently.
I already have a war wound in the calf. There's no need to break me a rib, too.
Arlen giggles and dries her tears.
Don't wait for it's too long, okay? We're not back in a week. You set sail. Promise?
Brandon nods.
So there's nothing more for me to do except to wish you good luck. You be careful, too.
Brandon turns and starts back down the path. The 4 remaining members of the expedition watch him disappear between the trees. They stay a while in the clearing, waiting, in tacit agreement in case Brandon changes his mind and returns. Then, they continue their journey. Duncan goes to the head of the line as usual. Freya follows close behind. I'm waiting to see the Seers kidnap him too. Brandon or Duncan?
Or everybody. Yeah.
Walking again is a little painful with her tired muscles, but she lives with it. Little by little, one step after another, she falls into a rhythm and lets her mind wander. Why not both? True. And then we just need Connor to be taken away, and then it would just be girl team. Arlen and Freya. She recalls the fight between Duncan and Eric. Something bothers her. She can't put her finger on it. Nah. She hurries to catch up with Duncan.
Duncan?
He also seems deep in thought.
Yes?
There's something that I don't understand. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, of course. What is it?
When you fought with Eric, and he was on the point of dealing the final blow.
Yes, I really thought I was going to die.
Freya frowns.
Exactly. You lowered your weapon as if... How should I put it? As if you were giving up the fight.
Duncan looks disturbed.
I don't know. I had the feeling that something or someone guided your hand to deliver the fatal blow to Eric.
Uh-oh. Do I just let them continue talking, or do I make Duncan lie at this point, taking over again? Maybe it's better to lie low, I agree. Let's not intervene and continue let them talking this out. Duncan takes a moment to think.
Yes, that's it exactly. Was ready to die.
You'll think I'm a coward, but I didn't want to take Eric's life. He knocked me down. I gave up. Then, just when Eric was about to finish me, as though someone took my hand and thrust my sword into Eric's chest. They take a few steps in silence. Freya looks lost, deep in thought. Though she was assembling various pieces of information to make a whole. Suddenly, she turns to Duncan, startling him.
Do you ever have the feeling of hearing like a little voice in your head?
What do you mean?
As if someone was telling you what to do or what to say.
Hey, just got home, but only 4 hours late, but I was here. Well, Darth, welcome. To now, the stream. Freya looks away.
Forget what I just said. It's silly.
No. Now that you mention it, yes. I had that feeling too since we set foot on this island. They're starting to get a sense of me. You don't think the Seers would exorcise us for them? Yo, we can vote. What is this game? This game is Seers Isle, where I am like a mysterious horde lady leading decisions of this group of people who are looking to become shamans. And you, chat, whenever I come across choices, are able to vote to provide input on what choice you think I should make. Though I don't have to pick it. Most of the time, I have. And do you think it's this little voice, like you say, which pushed me to kill Eric?
Who else? I don't believe it comes from the Seers.
No, me neither. When they came to take Eric's body...
You think they seemed annoyed by what had happened?
Duncan considers. Yes. With those masks, it's hard to tell what they think, but yes, so it seemed to me too.
And did you hear what they said to Arlen? That Eric should not have died?
Do you think it could be the girl that Orlin saw that night in the Cromlech?
Let's say that's my intuition.
But in that case, what did she have against Eric?
I don't know. Unless...
Freya is silent. Unless what?
Unless she had nothing in particular against Eric, but it was you she wanted to keep alive.
I wonder if it's actually the case that we need to keep Duncan alive towards the end of this journey, seeing as I assume it was the Seers possessing Jennifer, that the Seers don't want Duncan to make it to the end. So I am wanting to keep Duncan alive? It's a possibility. But why want me to survive? Me rather than Eric? Freya shrugs.
No idea.
They continue on their way in silence. The slope towards the foothills of the mountains is rising. Forest is becoming denser. Thickets of brambles hem the path. Night begins to fall. Duncan turns to Freya. You see a place to stop. Let me know. Getting late.
I think I saw a clearing a bit higher up, between the trees.
Duncan checks that Arlen and Connor are still close behind before hurrying onward. I hope we turn out to be their culture's devilness. Oh my god. Maybe trying to use them to free us. And the Seers are actually good, but then we're the devil trying to escape. Uh-oh. Further on, the forest opens on a small clearing, bordered on the southeast quarter by a set of standing stones. In the center, there are the remains of an old campfire.
This looks ideal.
Absolutely. And this time we won't be short of wood. Fire again. Duncan and Freya silently build a fire, while Arlen divides up 4 portions of what's left of their provisions. Is that all that's left?
Yeah,
Tomorrow we'll have to find food.
We need to keep some rations for when we reach the uplands. I think there will be plenty of hunting while we're in the forest, but there will probably be fewer food sources as we get closer to the summit.
Arlen agrees and makes the portions smaller. The group eats in silence, then each of them settles for the night.
Not playing your flute this evening, Arlen?
Are we gonna make some music, chat? Strum up a bit of song?
Wait, we are actually in the lore game somehow?
Yes, I apparently am a fancy,
Also antlered lady that whenever choices are made like this, it is me influencing them. And you too, chat, since you're able to make choices, I listen and I go, alright, you're all saying one, green, I will play then. But so, whenever they start talking about these weird voices, it's apparently referring to me because along this story too, I have referred to myself and I said, I follow along behind the group and the like. So, if you'd like, Arlen takes out her instrument and plays a wistful lament. I hate music. Too bad, Kiwi, too late. I'm playing it now. I like the melancholic sound of her flute. See, even though you hate it, I like the sound of it. So, I'm making it play. When she finishes her tune, Freya has already fallen into a deep sleep. She lies down close to the fire. When all the group have succumbed to the fatigue of the road, I wander into the forest to pass the time until morning. The interlacing branches and brambles are claustrophobic. I need air. We are too far now for me to return to the beach. I escape uphill, towards the summit. When I reach the edge of the forest, between the oaks and the pines, I am seized by a compelling call. The forest vanishes. See? This is me! Around me, a clear blue sea. The reflections of the sun on the waves dazzle me. Under my feet, planks of wood rock in the undulating rhythm of the sea. Am I recalling my own past from before I was antlered lady? I am in someone else's dream. Oh, am I in Arlen's again? That was her dream, yeah? Where she was up on a boat? And yeah, that makes sense too, because Arlen is the boat lady. Arlen? When my eyes grow accustomed to the light of the summer sun, I realize that I am on a fishing boat. I have not dreamed for an age, not since I've been a prisoner of this in-between worlds. A multitude of forgotten sensations overwhelm my senses. The wind of the open sea in my hair, with its salt smell, the warmth of the sun on my skin. I seek Arlen's eyes in the mass of people who work, each at their post. She is at the stern, pulling up a net filled with silver fish. She sees me coming towards her. She smiles at me.
Rowan, what are you doing here? You know my name?
Of course I know your name. Don't be ridiculous. Whoa. She puts her arms around my waist and pulls me against her. Ooh! Hot damn!
I came to save you on the island of the Seers.
She looks me straight in the eye. So not Duncan, but Arlen. Well, hey. Oh. Kiss her or disengage? What do we do, chat? Are we going to kiss or am I going to kiss Arlen? Easy. Number one, clearly. Never an easier choice. I kiss Arlen. Oh my god. In the fervor of the moment, I put my hand to Arlen's neck and kiss her full on the mouth. She tightens her hold on my waist with gentle firmness. A deep, commanding voice interrupts us. Excuse me, we're being cock-blocked again. God dang it, Conway. Hey, Gypsy, I didn't hire you on my boat so you could dilly-dally. Arlen lowers her eyes. She returns to her fishing net, looking contrite. Everything changes. I am in a small house. The wind is howling, and the rain beats against the closed shutters. Arlen leans over a large bed. Sleeping in it, pell-mell, are a good half-dozen children of different ages. She strokes the forehead of a little girl who turns in her sleep. This is the day I left for the island. Leaving them like that, it broke my heart, but I had no choice. Show a sign of affection, or stay back. We just kissed her. We have to show the sign of affection, Arlen, please. Oh, I put my hand on Arlen's shoulder. Someone's watching from the back. Do you see that peeking in from behind? Sneaky. She puts a hand over mine and looks at me sadly. Shadow moves in the corner of the room. An old woman that I hadn't seen in the gloom. Oh, it's Enid! This was the lady that was nice to Arlen. I must leave now, Arlen. Conway won't wait for you, and he sets sail first thing. You'll be sure they have everything they need. The old woman looks Arlen in the eye, but stays silent. Enid, promise me? Enid lets out a sigh. Yes, I promise I'll do everything in my power. Arlen glances a final time at the bed. I'm old, let me watch. Oh my god. Enid over there creeping in the corner, hoping that Arlen and I make out again. She has tears in her eyes, but she does not let them fall. You don't want to wake them? Say goodbye? No. I'm scared I won't have the strength if... Enid takes Arlen in her arms. They hold each other for a while. Then, Arlen turns and without a word, opens the door of the cottage. The wind and rain swallow her up in the sound of thunder. Then, there's a blinding flash of lightning, and I am driven out of her dream into the disembodied emptiness of the in-between world, my prison, as the sun rises over the forest. When I arrive at the bivouac, the group is already up and about. The mood is glum. After all that has happened, it's natural that their morale is not high. Arlen scatters the last embers in the fireplace while the others gather their belongings. Then they set off again. There's chapter 4, boom, halfway through. Underworld? Underworld? Maybe we are the devil. Mask swap? Maybe. Okay. Which means I would say that this is an excellent stopping point. Halfway through the game, we'll finish it up next time, yes? That was also the excellent ending where we got a fucking kiss with Arlen, dude. Oh my god. So far, while we have lost some members of our group, it's not aiming towards that bad of an end so far, seeing as we got a kiss with the lovely lady. We even placed our hand upon her shoulder. Very positive. 4 more chapters, 4 more people to vanish. That's right. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All that's left. Technically 5 if you count Brandon. Eric was shit. true. Alright. So then, as a reminder that tomorrow is Phasmophobia with Petri. Hopefully I can go for some duration of time, or else kill myself with VR. Not from fear, but with nausea.
Alechi Popo, 9-month subscriber, tier 3, 9-month badge, TwitchCon, NA, 2019 DistantCacophony. What should Caco do now? Show a sign of affection, choose stay.
Thank you for that copy paste. Choose to stay. Perfect. Wow. VR Phasmophobia? Yes, because I have the VR. So I will be in VR tomorrow for the Chat's Choice stream. Petri won't be because she doesn't have VR, but that's okay. Then she can spook me more easily, right? Not quite, actually, really, because I'm going to be the real person that's going to be spooking Petri. We'll sneak up on her, go boo, and Petri will go, "Ah, I'm very afraid." That's going to be the result. That Petri reallying me. Just wait, Petri. Just wait until I jump out from behind the doors, going, "Boo!"
How could you? That was very scary. Oh.
I think they added a new ghost recently. I think so too, since they did like a recent Halloween update, yes? Poor but smart, buy it when the price goes down. Well, simple, chat. Just, donate big cash money to Petri. Oh, yes! As a reminder, too, Petri does plan to stream at the same time for tomorrow for Phasmophobia, so make sure there's multi-Twitch happening, so that way you can watch us both from both perspectives. Then you can see me sneaking up on Petri, and then see it from Petri's perspective, and be like, "Oh boy, here's Cackle about to spook her." And Schnoodly arriving at the end of the stream, or having been lurking this entire time, I don't know. Petri's not active. Well, technically, it is active. It's just I set it to only me being able to use it instead. Alright. Everybody, I hope you all have lovely time. Uh-oh, and Dunder at the last moment. People, Alright, as I'm about to say all my thanks and shit, you're all dropping your points instead, as is customary. Kiwi Bazooka even dropping fucking 50k on it. Oh my god. Alright, let's math it out here. Let me open up the request reward queue. Pop that out too. Let's say points. Or calculator. So that would be 61k. 61 plus 171. Oops. 61 plus 171 is 232. That is very close, and of course then Twitchy quickly slapping down 10k. Don't forget mine. I say. There we go. Alright, chat. Now you've also basically got us to another emote, too. Well, I'm cutting you off there, though. Guess... Fine. Seeing as I wasn't able to complete my sentence, you unlocked the next emote spot. Fine. Alright. I guess we can worry about that, then. Potentially at the start of next stream, I will do the emote creation. Might do it on Wednesday. More likely do it next Saturday. But otherwise, you have reached it now. Alright. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the resubscriptions and for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, and I hope to see you tomorrow for Phasmophobia for Chat's Choice, alright? Farewell.